Hey everybody, I'm joined by Logan Wade, Bandit shortstop, who is on the active roster for the first time this season. You were all set to be the starting shortstop this year before injuring your shoulder just before the first game. Now you're back. How's the road to recovery coming along?
It's actually really good. I'm kind of surprised how well it's going. Knowing me, I'm always saying it's good, it feels good, but I know I just got to pump the brakes a little bit, let the process kind of play out, and I'll be back in there in no time.
Sounds like your manager, David Nielsen, wants to work you back in slowly but surely. Always tough to do in the middle of a season, especially on a first-place team. But what do you hope to contribute going forward?
I guess it's kind of hard for him because every week I'm like, I'm good, put me on the roster. This week it's just kind of like, get me in there, kind of get the blood flowing, and if I get in the pinch run or do something good out there, I think that's gonna be beneficial. For me coming into the next couple of weeks when I'm actually starting.
Thanks for the time and welcome back.
Thanks very much.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to One Hub Stadium powered by Optus, where the Perth Heat are in town to take on the Brisbane Bandits in a matchup of two first-place teams. With Australian silver medalist Paul Gonzalez, I'm Eric Bramer. Thank you for joining us for what should be a fun series and perhaps a playoff preview in the Australian Baseball League. The Brisbane Bandits are where they expect to be as we approach the midway point of the season, in first place atop the Northeast Division in the ABL. But when you look at the advanced statistics, they have been about in the middle of the pack, both in pitching and offense, with a team batting average just below .240. The team that has taken the mantle as the top statistical team in the league is in the other dugout, the Perth Heat, who have a batting average of almost .300 and a league-best ERA of 2.25.
I tell you what, and it doesn't surprise me, Perth is... If you look at when the league we came back in 2011-12, they were the leaders across the ABL. They're back to form, and then from our perspective, I think we're going to have a fantastic head-to-head matchup against two great sides.
Lefty veteran Travis Blackley gets the start for the Bandits on the mound. 36-year-old has a fastball, a cutter, and a curveball. 2-1 on the year with a 2.37 ERA. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner to Tim Kennelly, the right-handed hitting right fielder for the Heat. Just a bit behind schedule at 6:08 local time. First pitch temperature of 26 degrees Celsius. Stiff breeze at 32 kilometers from the north-northeast, blowing out as usual to right field here in Brisbane. 1-1 the count to Kennelly. The Heat are managed by Andy Kyle, and with a record of 11-5 are tied with the Melbourne Aces atop the Southwest Division. Blackley comes set. Pitch fouled off down the third base line, and it's 1-2. Kennelly will be followed in the Heat lineup by Tristan Gray, the second baseman, Pete Cosma, the shortstop, Chris Betts, the designated hitter. Batting fifth at third base, Robbie Glendinning. He'll be followed by Carl Chester in center field, Alex Hall, the catcher, Sam Kennelly at first base, and Jess Williams in left. Blackley coming off his best outing of the year. 6 solid innings in Canberra against the Cavalry with 5 hits and just 1 unearned run. 2-2 now the count to Kennelly. And now the count runs full. Blackley very good with his command, but missing low and in as he tries to get that cutter in on the hands of the right-handed batter.
And really, this is the batter he has to really focus on. Timmy's he's had a great start to the year, so he's got to really try to find a way to keep him off base.
Payoff pitch is popped up behind home plate. Ryan Battaglia over for a look, and it is just over the net, out of play. Battaglia joined in the Bandits' defense by Sutherland at first, Unrow at second, Bennett at short, Shue at third, and then left to right across the outfield is Nielsen, Campbell, and Dutton. Bandits with a 10-5 record have won 7 of their last 9 ball games. They have a half-game lead over second-place Sydney in their division. Another 3-2 coming from Blackley to Kennelly. And it misses ball 4. Leadoff walk begins the ball game for the Heat. And now we will see Travis Blackley in the stretch position where he has that very effective pickoff move.
He does, and I guess the main thing with Blackley we talk about early in the ball game, he's a guy that finds his tempo and his pace, and it's a good sign to see him working ahead in the count. And obviously you've got a veteran hitter at the plate in Tim. is able to draw the walk, but now puts a little bit more pressure on the defense, particularly with a strong offense with the Perth Heat.
Tristan Gray steps in, batting .310 on the year, left-handed hitting second baseman, swings at the first pitch and misses 0-1. Tom West, the crew chief, calls balls and strikes. He's joined at third base by Toby Pinder and at first by James Shields. Oh, 1 pitch on the inside corner, and the count is quickly 0-2.
A little background on Tristan from Houston, Texas. A 13th round pick in 2017 by the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he attended Rice University in Houston.
Blackley with a high leg kick delivers in the dirt, and a nice take by Gray runs the count to 1-2. Mentioned the Perth are leading the league in offense. Batting average of .299 is 31 points better than anyone else. Sydney in second place and Brisbane in fourth place out of 8 teams with a .238 batting average. Perth has scored 126 runs through 16 ball games. 3 teams in the league, Canberra, Geelong, Korea, and Auckland, have yet to score 50 on the season. That shows you just how great the disparity has been. 1-2 again in the dirt.
The one thing Perth Heat have always been able to do is they've been consistent as an organization. Last year they went through a rebuilding process and they put themselves in strong contention for the Clarkson Shield. Once again, with the new reformat in the 2 divisions, they're right back in the top of the mix. Like you said, this could potentially be one of the matchups in the playoffs rounds if these 2 teams continue to stay consistent.
There's the pickoff move, but not the best that Blackley has to offer. It keeps Kennelly honest at first. Kennelly enters play this weekend in round 5, 3rd in the league in batting average at .383. Perth also has the man leading the league, Chris Clare, but he is not available this week. Clare, a .410 batting average and an on-base percentage of an even .500 with 12 games in the season. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Tristan Gray for out number 1 in the first inning. A Skyfleet Hino strikeout. Blackley hopes the first of many.
Once again, we get a chance to have a look at that, and just looking at it, it's really down to location. You see a lot of late action on that cutter, and that's what makes him so tough on lefties.
Former major leaguer Pete Kozma steps in, right-handed hitting shortstop. 3 home runs, but a batting average of only .242 on the young ABL season. Blackley's first, a called strike. Blackley making his 5th start. First 3 weeks, he got the start in a 7-inning ball game as the Bandits played some early doubleheaders. 9 innings last weekend against the Cavalry and another 9-inning ball game tonight. 0-1 into shallow center field. It drops for a base hit. Kennelly checks in at second. The Heat have a pair of base runners with a walk and a single, and now they have a threat for their cleanup batter, Chris Betts.
And that's just a good at-bat right there by Pete. I'm just looking at his background, 2007 by the St. Louis Cardinals. He was the #1 pick in 07. So you look at a guy that's got big league time, then that's huge for an organization when you have a player of his ability within this lineup. So he'll have quality at-bats, he'll do the little things right, and defensively he'll be solid for this organization.
Betts, a solid batting average for a catcher, batting .298. 1 homer and 9 runs batted in. With speed and Kennelly at second, a base hit to the outfield could give the Heat the first run of the ball game. Ball 1 misses outside from Blackley, who is laboring here in the first.
And that's really the difference we've seen probably in Blackley's first 3 starts, is hasn't really labored much early in the piece. This offense is going to test him today, so really he's got to make sure he works ahead in the count and utilize that defense.
Lefty-lefty matchup, and Betts sends it straight back to the screen, 1-1. Slight chance of rain tonight, but a greater chance of rain as the weekend rolls along. These 2 teams are scheduled to play a night game tomorrow, Friday night, and then a doubleheader on Saturday with first pitches scheduled for 2:30 and 6.
Yeah, look, and that's probably the thing we're trying to avoid, obviously, is that rain, but we're optimistic and we've put all the provisions in place to make sure we play this series this weekend.
1-1 lifted foul, left side backing out of play. This is, for the first time, a matchup that will only take place once in the regular season. With the new divisional format, Brisbane and Perth play once a year.
And that'll make it tough for makeup games, particularly with these two sides competing for each of their divisions. If there is cause for a makeup, you've got to find a way to find a neutral place for them to potentially make it up in the standings.
Before the 1-2, a check of Kennelly at second. Talking to Heat skipper Andy Kyle, Perth is always going to be at a disadvantage in terms of travel. They are the only team on the western half of the continent. They got into Brisbane at about 5 o'clock local time this morning. The 1-2, and a step off from Blackley.
You know, from a player's perspective, and these guys are conditioned to those type of, I mean, most of these guys have played in minor league conditions, and you can land or you can have a bus trip that can take you 16 hours. So these guys are probably more conditioned than anybody for the travel. I think it's harder even when the teams travel.
Betts swings at the 1-2, sends it on the ground towards first. The throw to second is high, and the return to first not in time. Shortstop Bennett did a great job keeping his foot on the base. At least that was the ruling of the umpire Toby Pinder, and out comes Andy Kyle, who had our vantage point from down the third base line. It looked like Bennett was high off the base.
Yeah, look, it's a tough call, but he's right there on the spot, and obviously Kyle's just asking the question how he made the call. So we'll see a chance to see on the replay. It was a ground ball to first base. Sutherland comes up, makes a good throw to Bennett, a little high to try to avoid hitting the runner in the head. And obviously he's seeing that he's in a little bit of a confusion there on first who's going to recover. So looks like the play will stand. The runner will be called out, and that'll put first and third with 2 outs.
Betts reaches on the 3-6 fielder's choice. Cosma out, and Kennelly advances to third. Blackley, a left-handed pitcher, falls off on the third base side of the mound and had a long way to go to get to first. Took a tumble, but appears to be no worse for the wear. Batting fifth in the lineup for the Heat is Robbie Glendinning, right-handed hitting third baseman. .286 batting average in limited playing time. Blackley's first to the plate is in the dirt. It skips away from Battaglia. The runner at third, Kennelly, will stay put, but scampering to second is Chris Betts. Now a pair of men in scoring position for the Heat.
Yeah, tough ball in the dirt for Battaglia. Wasn't able to come up with it. Didn't allow the runner from third to score, but now it puts a man on second base, so a base hit has the potential to score 2 now.
Battaglia getting the start behind the plate. Danny De La Calle, the other primary catcher for the Bandits, not on the active roster for the next couple days. We will see Battaglia get the heavy lifting as he catches the pitching staff. Blackley very deliberate, stepping off, making sure that with the runner at second, he and his catcher are not being spied upon. Pitch misses up and away, and it's 2-0.
2 balls, 2 outs.
Blackley about to throw his 21st pitch of the first inning. And a dangerous count, the 2-0. Hit in the air towards center. Campbell in, now back. It's over his head and high off the wall. It'll score Kennelly and Betts, and into second with a 2-run double is Robbie Glendinning. The Heat and their high-powered offense live up to the billing early on. They lead it 2-0.
Yeah, really good job of hitting right there. Got a pitch up in the zone and didn't try to do too much. Barreled it up, shot the ball to center field over Campbell's head, and that scores 2 very quickly for this potent offensive Perth Heat team.
This is an extremely hitter-friendly ballpark here in Brisbane. 370 feet to dead center field. Perth not exactly used to that, but they have gotten great offensive numbers all around the league. They want to have a field day the next couple days against the Bandits. Carl Chester steps in, right-handed hitting center fielder. He swings at the first offering and lifts it foul out of play. Heat starter Ryan Flores is liking what he is seeing. He'll be staked to an early 2-0 lead as he faces the Bandits in the bottom half of the inning. Chester trying to increase that lead. He swings and misses at a pitch low and in, and the count is 0-2.
Good pitch right there, and that's where you're going to have to be, particularly with men in scoring position. You know, we talk about 2-out RBIs, how big they are, and they're huge, particularly early in the ball game. And Perth, once again, have set the tempo in Game 1.
Blackley set at the belt. The 0-2. Bounced in the dirt. This time Battaglia gets in front of it and sends the ricochet back out towards the mound. You may be able to see on the Bandits' wrists an orange wristband in support of their teammate Luke Van Meel, who was injured in an accident in Canberra last weekend. Luke is still in a Canberra hospital, and if he's watching right now, we want to extend our best wishes to him as he continues to recover from injury. Here's the 1-2. Just got a piece, did Chester, sending it straight back. Now 25 pitches thrown in the first inning for Travis Blackley. With the caveat that weather may interrupt this series, with a doubleheader on Saturday, this is not the start that David Nielsen wanted to see from his starting rotation.
Absolutely not. And when you need to obviously go deep into the bullpen, and last thing he wants to do is have to go into the bullpen early.
Pop towards third. Shu Ji Hung underneath it, and in fair territory, he makes the play for the third out. But for Travis Blackley, that third out comes one batter too late. Robbie Glendinning with a 2-run double off the wall in center field puts Perth on top early. The Bandits are coming to bat when we come back.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
Ryan Flores staked to an early 2-0 lead for the Heat. The righty is 1-2 with a 1.93 ERA in the ABL. 25 years old, out of Richland College in Dallas, Texas. Spent the last 2 American stateside seasons with the Sioux City Explorers in independent baseball. This will be appearance number 6 and start number 3 as he faces a Bandits lineup that begins, as usual, with Andrew Campbell. Campbell, the left-handed hitting center fielder, is batting .276 on the year with 3 homers and 12 runs batted in. He takes a called strike to begin the at-bat. Campbell, Riley Unruh, T.J. Bennett, Donald Lutz, Wade Dutton, Shu Ji Hung, David Sutherland, Daniel Nielsen, and Ryan Battaglia, the starting 9 for manager David Nielsen. Flores from the wind delivers. It's chopped down the first base line, fielded by Kennelly. He takes it to the base for out number 1. Kennelly at first, Gray at second, Glendinning at third, Cosma at short. Left to right across the outfield, it's Williams, Chester, and Kennelly. And behind the plate is Hall.
Got a chance to talk to Andy Call before the game, and he basically said a competitor, not overpowering by any means, but works down in the strike zone, primarily a 3-pitch guy. And obviously, as we know, he works very quickly. and he's most effective, obviously, if he's getting ahead in the count, which he's doing here early in the first inning.
Switch hitting second baseman Riley Unruh steps in. Unruh with a check swing, and the count is 1-1. Unruh joined the team for round 3 after the early season injury to Logan Wade. Took a while for Unruh to get into the swing of things as he swings and sends it back to the screen. But on the year, batting .250. When he gets on base, he is the premier stolen base threat on the roster. At second base tonight after getting a couple of starts in right field in the Canberra series. 2-2 now the count as it misses low and in from Flores.
Yeah, he had a good Canberra series in the last game of that series. He went 3 for 5 with one run, and also saw he transitioned to shortstop on one game and absolutely came up with a brilliant play.
Called strike 3 as he goes down looking for out number 2 here in the first.
2 outs for the Brisbane Bandits. Ladies and gentlemen, number
That
6.
brings up T.J. Bennett, the shortstop, as we take another look on the Suki Bowl replay. Framed well by Hall, but close enough to a strike, and Unruh was not in protect mode, perhaps fooled by the pitch selection.
Yeah, look, and it looked like it backed up on him as well, so probably didn't break and backed up, but able to get enough plate for strike 3.
Flores rocks and fires the first to Bennett on the inside corner, a strike. Bennett, the team leader in home runs with 4. Continuing to start at shortstop. And he's there again tonight.
One thing I'd say for Flores tonight, he works very, very quickly, like I mentioned earlier in the piece. You see, he's already set, so the Bandits are going to have to really try to control his tempo by not maybe stepping out on occasion.
Hit hard on the ground towards first. Fielding is Kennelly, and he flips to Flores covering. That is a quick 1-2-3 first inning for Ryan Flores and the Heat in the field as the Bandits go down in order. We go to the top of the second. Perth on top 2-0 on Bandits.tv.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
An overcast but clear evening here in Brisbane at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, with Paul Gonzalez, Eric Bramer with you, providing play-by-play for the first couple games of this series between a pair of first-place teams. ABL.TV will have the doubleheader on Saturday, but we will be back with you again tonight for Game 2 of 4 here in Round 5. Travis Blackley looking to settle in after a rocky first inning of his night. He'll face the bottom third of the Heat lineup: Hall, Kennelly, and Williams. Alex Hall, the catcher, a switch hitter, batting righty. On the season, batting .268. 13 runs batted in with 15 hits. That means when he has gotten on base, he has made it count.
Yeah, he's a young player and only at 19 years of age, so he's having a lot of early success in his playing career.
Couple catchers in the lineup. I mentioned in the first inning that Chris Betts is the DH tonight, but he can catch as well. 1-1 the count. Blackley comes set. Pitch misses up and away.
One thing we see early, Trevor's actually missing a lot up in the zone, and normally when he is missing, he's very effective. It's down in the zone, so just needs to make that small adjustment. and just stay within himself, not trying to do too much.
Lifted in the air, infield right side. Sutherland gives way to Unruh, and the Bandits' second baseman makes the catch for the first out. Good to get that first out of the second inning after the leadoff walk to begin the ball game. That just kind of set Blackley behind the 8 ball a bit, and ultimately he gave up a pair of runs.
And we always said early on with Blackley, he gains momentum throughout the game, and when we see when he goes to the next level is when he gets a lead. So we know at this ballpark, particularly in this type of weather condition, the ball will jump. So still a lot of offense on both sides. So I think we'll still got a lot of offense to see tonight.
First pitch to Sam Kennelly, draws a swing and a miss. Kennelly was 2 for 2 and grounders hit at him defensively at first base in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 0-1, and it misses. Bandits have won their last 2 series, taking 3 of 4 here 2 weeks ago against Sydney, and then last weekend taking 3 of 4 against the Cavalry in Canberra. The 1-1, fouled straight back.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to the Perth coaching staff as well, and they were really disappointed that they only split that series against Melbourne, but they were happy they were down in one of the ball games, and they showed a lot of character against a very tough side this year. And obviously the Bandits went away against Canberra and came away with 3 wins. So both sides are playing very consistent. Like you said, Perth is probably a little bit more consistent on the offensive and pitching categories than the Bandits have this year.
1-2 misses. The Heat and the Aces both have records of 11 and 5. They're tied atop the Southwest Division in this new divisional format in the ABL. Bandits have only played 15 of their scheduled 16 games. 2-2 foul tipped into the mitt of the catcher Battaglia. There's a strikeout. Second of the game for Blackley. Another Skyfleet Hino strikeout, and it's out number 2.
Yeah, really good pitch by Blackley right there. And you can start to see him. He's really starting to settle in, but that's good location right there, and that's a tough pitch for Kennelly to catch up with, and that's a big out and out number 2 for the Bandits.
Left-handed hitting left fielder Jess Williams steps in. .216 batting average for the 9th place batter, and he fouls it off his back foot for strike 1.
Once again, another young player for the Perth Heat, and it's great to see. You know, we talk about it. I watched BP today, and the Bandits had a number of new development players taking batting practice, and to have this type of exposure early in the career.
0-1 tap towards first, in between hop for Sutherland. He waits back on it, and Blackley covers just in time to retire Williams for a 1-2-3 top of the second inning. Bandits will try and get their bats going against Ryan Flores when we come back on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Perth Heat lead the Brisbane Bandits 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. After a 1-2-3 first, Ryan Flores back out there, taking on 4, 5, and 6 in the Bandits order. Donald Lutz, Wade Dutton, and Shu Ji-hung.
And this is where the Bandits order normally will, you're talking about the big guns, and Lutzy's hitting right at 176, but here's a guy right now, once he's on fire, he's probably one of the toughest guys in the league to get out. Looking at his series in Canberra, had a few hits, but he's just waiting to get his timing back and start to lead this ball club offensively.
A home run in each of his last 2 rounds, including one against the Cavalry, his former team, in what may be his ABL farewell tour. Hitters count 2-0. Flores to the plate, and Lutz looking for a fastball 2-0, gets something he likes, but sends it back to the screen. Looking at Flores' numbers, most of his damage has been self-inflicted. Batting average against of just 163, but entering play today, 12 walks and only 11 strikeouts. Patient approach for the Bandits may serve them well tonight. 2-1, a called strike. Lutz thought it was ball 3, and he's having a conversation now with Tom West.
And that's the thing. I mean, Flores, once again, we see how quickly he works. He's already in his set position and really puts a lot of pressure on the hitters.
The 2-2. Lifted in the air, deep towards right field. Long run for Kennelly, and he tracks it down in the corner. A running catch on the warning track for Kennelly, and out number 1 here in the second inning. Tim Kennelly needed every second that he got to get that high arcing fly ball drifting towards the corner.
Yeah, really good job. I mean, I don't think Lutzy got all of it. Obviously, the ball's out of the ballpark, but a fantastic job by Kennelly to run that ball down, got to the warning track in that corner for out number 1, and that's a big out for the Perth Heat.
320 feet down the right field line. Lutz did not get all of it, but he almost got enough of it. Wade Dutton fouls off, and it's 0-1. Dutton gets the start in right field tonight. Right-handed hitting utility man. Here's the 0-1. On the outside corner, and Flores is ahead 0-2.
Once again, even his misses are close, so he's going to get a lot more generous pitches because he does miss down in the zone and his consistency in the zone.
3-pitch strikeout of Dutton, second punch out of the game for Flores. 5 up, 5 down for the Perth righty. First strikeout was looking, that one went swinging as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay.
And it's what we see. See that the downward arm, the downward action on the pitch, very similar to Sam Holland. You look at his arm slot. Really, the difference is how quickly he works. And I'll tell you, as a former hitter or as a hitter, he basically forces and he creates the tempo. When you see offensive ball clubs and they feel rushed, they want to control the at bat. He's actually creating the tempo for the at-bat. So if you already see him, he's already set and he's already ready to fire, so he works very, very quickly.
Shu Ji-hung swings at the 0-1, sends it to second. Gray to Kennelly, and another 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Flores. 6 up, 6 down for the righty as we go to the third in Brisbane. Bandits trail the Heat by a score of 2-0.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Perth Heat are off to a good start in Brisbane. They lead the Bandits 2-0 as we go to the top of the third inning at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Travis Blackley bounced back nicely after a rocky first with a 1-2-3 second. He's allowed 4 straight, and now he gets his second crack at the Heat lineup, beginning with Tim Kennelly, who made a great running catch in the right field corner just a few moments ago. Blackley with 2 hits allowed, a walk and 2 strikeouts. 2 runs came in on Robbie Glendinnings's 2-run double off the center field wall in the first. Kennelly got the rally started with a leadoff walk to begin the ballgame. First pitch from the lefty, Blackley misses low and in. How different does that first inning look if for one reason or another Pete Kozma is ruled safe at second on the attempted double play ball?
And it's a completely different ball game, you know. And now, and the same thing when we talk about Tim's first at bat, and you know he's hitting at a 368 clip. His first at bat, working the count to full, fouling off a couple pitches, and then able to draw the walk. So he really creates the tempo for this organization and the leadership, and obviously allows these guys in the middle of the order to drive someone in.
The 1-1. Knee buckling pitch as Kennelly was fooled. It's a strike and it's 1-2. Mentioned both Perth and Melbourne atop the Southwest Division. And the Bandits will get them in back-to-back weeks. Round 6 on the road in Melbourne next weekend. 4 games in 3 days, as this one is driven deep in the air towards left, and a long run popping out of the glove of Nielsen. It lands on the warning track. It'll be 2 bases for Tim Kennelly, and it remains to be seen whether that will be a double or an error. It was a tough play by Nielsen, but one that even he will say he probably should have made.
Yeah, he got a good jump on it. Obviously, the ball was hit hard off the bat of Kennelly. Get a chance to look at the replay. Ball jumped off the bat well here. So he had a long run to it, got to the warning track, tracked it down, and it hit him in the glove, and unfortunately just came up a little bit short. So it'll be interesting to see how they do score that.
Don't want to get into his head too much, but the way he jumped, it looked like he thought he was closer to the wall than he actually was. Here's Tristan Gray with a man at second, and it's a called strike beginning the at-bat. Gray struck out swinging his first time up.
And once again, we talked about the effectiveness of Tim at the top of the order, hitting at 368. Normally you'd see a guy like that hitting in the 3-4 slot, but shows how much pressure he puts on the defense and the pitching staff.
Taken low and away.
Throughout the years, one thing that Perth has always done has been consistent with their at-bats. They have quality at-bats. They do the little things right. Right here is a little thing moment where he needs to find a way to at least roll the ball over, shoot the ball to the right side of the field, and advance the runner. It's that small ball and just chipping away at the scoreboard.
It should help that Gray is a left-handed hitter. Blackley looks back towards second, and now time called with Kennelly dancing off the base. Blackley has now thrown 43 pitches, 27 of them for strikes. Driven to left center field into the gap, it won't be caught. One hopping off the wall as Kennelly motors around third and scores on an RBI double from Tristan Gray. The Heat lead it 3-0.
Yeah, really good job right there of Gray squaring that ball up into left center field gap, and that's exactly what you want to try to do up early in the count, and he's able to stay through the baseball and use the whole field, and that scores the 3rd run of the game for the Perth Heat.
Incidentally, the Kennelly base hit was indeed ruled a double, so that will be an earned run for Blackley. That's the least of his concerns right now with the dangerous Pete Kozma at the plate. He singled his first time up. Kozma swings at the first offering from Blackley and lifts it behind home plate out of play.
And here's where your first rounder, and you just saw quality at bat by Gray. Here's where your first rounder will look at trying to advance or shoot the ball up the middle to allow the runner to advance or potentially drive him in. So veteran guy, played in the big leagues against a former big league player as well. So this will be a good matchup.
Slow breaking pitch misses, 1-1. Blackley peers down his glove and comes set. One and two. Cosma again fouls it off. The 1-2 pitch bounced in the dirt, and Battaglia gets in front of it. A lot of pitches in the dirt from Blackley, and I guess the good thing to see is that he has confidence in his catcher to be able to block those pitches.
Yeah, it's a good job by Battaglia right there, keeping the ball in front, which doesn't allow the runner to advance, but feels like Blackley really hasn't got a feel for his breaking ball, so either overthrowing it and not getting his release point where he wants to, so now it's just about making those little adjustments.
Cosma chased what may have been ball 3, but in protect mode, he sends it back, and the count remains 2-2.
And when Blackley's most effective, he's got command of the 3 pitches. Tonight, it looks like he's just feeling for his breaking ball and just trying to find that release point. Then it makes you a 2-pitch guy, and guys stop looking at the breaking ball if they see you can't execute it, and then you primarily become a 2-pitch guy and really narrows down their percentages at the plate.
Another 2-2 coming. Cosma hits it hard on the ground, and it is knocked down by the shortstop Bennett. It'll be an infield single for Cosma. Shu almost got a glove on it. Bennett knocked it down, and for the time being it saves a run, but runners on the corners with no outs, and Chris Betts coming in. The Heat have put Travis Blackley in yet another sticky situation.
Yeah, always going to be a tough play for Shu at third, and ball just caromed off his glove lightly, and I think just enough to throw TJ off. I think even if TJ feels that clean, I think it's going to be bang bang at best at first base the way he gets down the line.
Chris Betts reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, grounded to first, and the Bandits got the out at second in a somewhat controversial manner. Heat manager Andy Kyle went out to argue that TJ Bennett, the shortstop's foot, was not on the base when he received the throw. 0-1 the count. Gray at third, Cosma at first, 1 run already in for the Heat to extend their advantage to 3-0. Betts sends it back our way off the screen, and the count is 0-2. The Bandits won 3 of 4 against the Cavalry, but their finale, a 9-7 victory, was a lot closer than it should have been. That came on Sunday afternoon, and the Bandits scored the first 9 runs before the pitching staff allowed 7 unanswered. There was a save situation at the end of that ball game. 0-2, grounder to second. They only have time to get the 1 out at second as Unruh flips to Bennett. Scoring from third is Gray. It's an RBI fielder's choice for Chris Betts, and the Heat have doubled their advantage here in the 3rd inning. It's now 4-0. Very close play at second base.
Yeah, really good play. I mean, Unruh's really only play was get the advance or that advanced runner on first, but good job of execution once again to drive in the run and stay out of the double play. On a positive note for the Bandits, really good breaking ball, and that had the downward action that Blackley was looking for, so hopefully he can find that rhythm and induce more ground balls tonight.
Blackley shows off his pickoff move. Betts goes back to first. Robbie Glendinning steps in. Heat third baseman ripped a 2-out, 2-run double off the center field wall in the 1st inning to open up the scoring. Blackley's first misses up and away. After tomorrow, the Bandits will be halfway done with their home schedule with 10 dates down and 10 to go. So if you haven't made it out to the ballpark, we encourage you to do so. 2-0 the count to the dangerous Robbie Glendinning. Blackley up above the 50-pitch threshold. That was number 55. 35 strikes, 20 balls for the veteran lefty. Low and in, now 3-0 with Carl Chester waiting on deck. Blackley has major league experience with 5 different teams. Broke in with the Seattle Mariners all the way back in 2004. Then after a prolonged battle with injuries, came back to play for San Francisco, Oakland, Houston, and Texas. Called strike on 3-0, exactly what he needed. And now he begins the long climb back. Blackley, 36 years old. (3-1), cracked foul, out of play. If anyone can do it, it's the Bandits, and we have seen them do it as recently as the last couple weeks. But a 4-0 deficit against a very, very good Perth Heat team is going to be tough to dig out of. Payoff pitch coming to Glendinning. In on the hands and sent foul.
I think that what I see early on, what's going to be tough, is that they're having quality at bats. They're working deep in the counts. They're not missing their mistakes, and that's what's a threat to the Bandits, particularly with what the Perth Heat have shown early in this season. They're an offense to contend with.
Another 3-2. Glendinning sends it on the ground towards short. Bennett to second for one. The throw on a hop to Sutherland goes to the screen and ricochets back. That, I believe, hit the first base coach or something. No harm, no foul as we take another look at the replay. They got the one out, that's what matters. Bennett had a little trouble getting it out of the glove, and it hit the runner going down to first, Glendinning. On the hop, got him on the left side.
Good feed from TJ. A little bit of a squirrely hop on him, which he did a good job of staying with it, but it's really the transition at second in the short hop, and Sutherland wasn't able to come up with it cleanly, so that continues to put pressure on the defense.
Carl Chester, first pitch swinging, sends it to second, and the throw to first retires the Heat center fielder. He has ended both innings in which he has batted. But in both of those innings, the Heat have scored two. Two more here in the third on an RBI double from Tristan Gray and a run-scoring fielder's choice from Chris Betts. We go to the bottom half of the third inning, 4-0, Perth on top.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
There are the three flags flying above One Hub Stadium powered by Optus in Brisbane. Left to right, we have the Taiwanese flag, the Australian flag, and on the right, the Dutch flag from the Netherlands. As a nice touch to Luc van Meel, Bandits closer, who last week in Canberra suffered a serious injury. Paul Gonzalez, after being in critical condition, we have good news to report on the ABL veteran.
Yeah, he does. Got a chance to speak to Mark briefly and said that he actually is recovering well, and They're talking about potentially coming back to Brisbane soon, so that's a really good sign for he and his family. So we wish him a speedy recovery.
David Sutherland cracks it in the air to deep right center field. First hit of the ball game for the Bandits, takes a funny hop off the wall. David Sutherland content with a leadoff double. And the Bandits will finally put Flores in the stretch position.
It's a good at-bat by Sutherland right there, and first time we've seen Flores actually into any trouble. So exactly what the Bandits offense needed. They needed to have some spark, and the veteran first baseman came up with a big leadoff double here in the third.
Daniel Nielsen, the left fielder, steps in. 8th place batter for the Bandits. Flores with a long look towards second. The delivery sent in the air deep towards right center field. This ball is back and gone! Daniel Nielsen with his second home run of the year, and the Bandits answer back. It's now 4-2. Another Empire Jerky home run, and after doing nothing against Ryan Flores in the first 2 innings, Sutherland and Nielsen send hard line drives to right center field. Sutherland's was off the wall on a hop, and Nielsen snuck over the wall just in front of the scoreboard, right of center field.
Yeah, he got a pitch up in the strike zone, and I'll tell you what, he did some damage. And that's sometimes you'll see from a player. He had a ball he probably should have caught, and he probably knows that as well. And it's enough to spark you, and all of a sudden now he's one swing in the bat. He's now split this score 2-4.
Ryan Battaglia steps in. Breaking pitch, and he is behind in the count, 0-2. The Heat and the Bandits are 1-2 in the league in terms of total home runs. Perth entering with 23 and Brisbane entering with 20. That was number 21 for the team. 1-2 as Battaglia takes a breaking pitch, just low and away. Battaglia sends it hard to left center field. That's down for a hit. 3 consecutive line drives to begin the third inning for the Bandits. That'll bring Andrew Campbell to the plate, suddenly representing the tying run.
Really good job, and that'll bring pitching coach to the mound just for a quick chat. And like I said, he's really controlled the at-bats with his tempo. Bandits have done a really good job of making some early adjustments and been able to square up the last 3 pitches.
Heat pitching coach Alberto Bastardo brings the entire infield, save for Gray, the second baseman, in. Battaglia, a catcher, also gets some play in the outfield, but he is not traditionally a threat to run. Campbell does have speed. He can drop down a bunt, too, if the need arises, but this is not a bunt situation, one would not think. Campbell grounded hard to first in the first. And he takes a called strike on the outside edge. You knew the Bandits were not going to go down quietly. Even just the third inning, you can be in danger of letting the Heat settle into a rhythm if they continue to add to their lead. Check swing and a strike, it's 0-2.
And here's where the Bandits will make the adjustments, and this is what good hitting teams will do on both sides. They communicate with each other. After each at-bat, they put in a scouting report, and they feed that information to the next batter, and that allows them to start building, I guess, their data as far as how they're going to approach their at-bat.
0-2 to Campbell, misses at the shoe tips.
First time we've really seen Flores work a little bit harder. He'd been really cruisy up until this inning, and Bandits have done a really good job of making some early adjustments, particularly down 4-0.
Bears repeating that Flores entering play today had allowed only 8 hits in 14 innings pitched. And there's a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Campbell can't believe it. Strikeout number 3 for Flores, second. Strikeout looking. And it's out number 1 here in the third. Campbell walks away just in time to avoid escalation.
Yeah, that's the main thing is just for, Campbell, the most important thing in that situation is make sure you don't get in an argument of balls and strikes. Obviously, he just asked him particularly about location of pitch, because the moment you argue balls and strikes, he can throw you from the game.
Riley Unruh went down looking on a borderline pitch his first time up. Switch hitter still batting lefty. We'll have to wait for the first pitch as Flores checks Battaglia back to the base. Bandits are a triple shy of the cycle here in the third inning, with a Sutherland double, Nielsen homer, and Battaglia single. Unruh pops it up left side of the infield. Cosma and Glendinning, and it's Cosma, the shortstop, making the catch for the second out. Whatever Alberto Bastardo said, it seems to have worked since the mound visit. Flores is locked in again.
And that's all sometimes your pitching coach will do. Sometimes he'll just settle you down, and not necessarily mechanical changes, but potentially just help you mentally remember your game plan, remember your strategy. Don't try to do too much, and stick to your game plan and trust it.
Here's TJ Bennett trying to keep the third inning alive for the Bandits. Grounded to first his first time up. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. Bandits got 2 back earlier in the inning on Daniel Nielsen's home run to right center field. Bennett, the team leader in home runs with 4, would like to repeat the feat. 0-1 just misses. Pitch count for Flores is still pretty good. That was pitch number 35, with 26 for strikes and only 9 balls. One, aims for the same spot, and this time hits it. A called strike runs the count to 1-2.
Yeah, you see Bennett right there, a little bit upset with the call, but like a veteran guy will do, you just step out and regroup. Remember to stay focused in the at-bat, so now it puts him in a 1-2 count, so now he's got to battle on any pitch close to the strike zone. It was.
Time called, and a balk is called by home plate umpire Tom West. That'll advance Battaglia to second base. No pitch, and West out to explain. Must not have waited long enough after coming set to deliver the pitch. That's usually it in that situation.
And if we get a chance, I don't know if we can see the replay on that, but he didn't come set long enough, so he did come to the set position. You see right here, it's very quick pitch, so as he comes set and then go. So Tommy's read it as didn't set long enough before he delivered. So obviously Flores is trying to see where that boundary is, and he's pushed it, and now he puts a man on second base with 2 outs.
Battaglia will be off on contact with 2 down, likely trying to score on a hit to the outfield. The 1-2 pitch. Bennett just stays on the breaking ball, enough to get a piece and keep the at-bat alive.
Second base, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And like the Perth Heat, in their middle of the lineup, they came up with men in scoring position in big situations, able to deliver. This is where the Bandits offense need to step up, particularly with the heart of the order at the plate.
One, 2 again, tapped foul. This has been by far Flores' most laborious inning. But after 3 hits to begin the inning, he has gotten 2 outs. 1 pitch away from out number 3, stranding Battaglia at second. Another 1-2. Bennett drives it in the air towards right field. A diving attempt by Kennelly, but he can't make the play. It pops out of his glove and heads towards foul territory. Scoring from second on an RBI double is Ryan Battaglia, and TJ Bennett comes through with 2 outs to draw the Bandits to within a run.
We just briefly talked about, big hits with 2 outs, and TJ right on cue comes up with a big hit. Great effort by Keneally to try to run that ball down. Made a good attempt, unable to catch. That'll put another runner on second base with another big threat at the plate in Donald Lutz.
Bennett has good infielder speed. And here's Donald Lutz, who flew out to right field, robbed of extra bases on the warning track by Keneally. The Heat right fielder is 1 for 2 in catch opportunities on the outer limits of his range. Called strike to the big left-handed hitting DH. Time called at home plate. You can see from our center field camera angle the pull shift on for the left-handed hitting DH. Shortstop Kozma not even visible there on the left side of the infield. He's playing pretty much straight up. Breaking ball and a called strike, and it's 0-2.
I know you talked in the piece in Canberra about the Major League Baseball trying to make some rule changes on the shift, but still plays a part here in the Australian Baseball League. And obviously, the big left-handed hitter at the plate, it could play to Perth Heat's defensive advantage.
The 0-2. In on the hands and dribbled weakly towards second. Charging is Gray, and he flips onto first to retire Lutz and the Bandits in the 3rd inning. But Brisbane answers back with 3 runs on a 2-run homer from Daniel Nielsen and a 2-out RBI double from TJ Bennett. We've got ourselves a ball game as we head to the 4th inning here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. It's 4-3 Heat.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer.
Beers to the beach.
Yeah, thank you, Archer.
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you, Archer.
Yeah.
Good boy, Archer.
The Perth Heat have seen their 4-0 lead shrink to 4-3 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Bottom third of the lineup due up for the Heat, beginning with Alex Hall, who swings at the first pitch and sends it high in the air, deep down the left field line, and it is a fair ball and a home run. On the first pitch of the 4th inning, Alex Hall gives the Heat their first home run of the game, and they extend their lead to 5-3. It had home run distance, we knew that, and from this angle it was tough to see immediately whether it was fair or foul. Let's see the angle on the Suki Bowl replay.
A really good job by the young hitter. He got the ball in and able to pull his hands inside the baseball, fires the ball down and actually hit the fair pole on the way down, and obviously an easy call for the umpires. And with one swing of the bat, the Perth Heat now make this game 5-3.
Sam Keneally stands in, strikeout victim his first time up. Heat must want to keep that team home run title. Bandits in second place got one in the bottom of the 3rd, and the Heat waste no time in getting one of their own in the top of the fourth.
Like we talked earlier in the piece, you've got, you know, two powerhouses in two divisions, and we knew it was going to be a slugfest, and both these sides have come off swinging the bats well tonight.
Blackley delivers, and it's fouled back to the screen.
2 strikes, 1 ball.
Blackley up to 65 pitches now. Some stirring, but no throwing in the Bandits' pen. The 1-2, missing high.
See it again, once again, we're in the fourth, and just finding that release point for Blackley tonight's been tough. So what we talk about, all of a sudden it narrows down as a hitter into a 2-pitch guy instead of that 3-pitch guy.
2-2, fouled back. And having only 2 pitches consistently in your arsenal gets even tougher the third time you go through the order. That'll be coming up here later this inning.
Well, what happens is you don't have to make adjustments to speed variations. All you do is make adjustments to location, and these guys have done a fantastic job of adjusting to pitch location, and that's why their timings have been on tonight.
More hits allowed tonight by Blackley than in his 6-inning outing last week in Canberra. 2-2, driven in the air, but shallow center field. And Unruh, the second baseman, running out, makes the play. If Campbell can get there, that's the center fielder's ball, but Campbell was playing back, respecting Kennelly's power. And Unruh made the over-the-shoulder catch a lot easier, made it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Yeah, exactly. And the golden rule there is infielder goes as hard as he can till called off. Obviously, if you don't hear anything, you continue to pursue. And obviously, the depth of Campbell wasn't going to allow him to get there, and Unruh did his job and hustled to get back there for out 1.
Jess Williams is 0 for 1. He grounded to first his first time up, and he takes wide ball 1. Before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to some members of our Hailstorm crew who are not with us tonight. Josh, Rob, Chris, and Tegan watching in the United States. Thank you for tuning in. I would say we're doing just fine without you, but that would be uncharitable to your massive contributions when you are here. 2-0, the count. Great job, as always, by our production crew, putting together this very ambitious broadcast night after night. 2-0, maybe a cracked bat. Dribbled weakly towards second. Tough play for Unruh, and with the glove flip, he gets the out at first. Riley Unruh, we've seen all over the infield, getting the start tonight at second, and that was the only way, I think, that he could have made that play.
Yeah, I agree, and that's a big time. That's a big league play right there, and not an easy play. And did a good job of getting into good position as far as the route he took to the baseball, enable a good feed to Sutherland for out number 2. But once again, an outstanding defensive play by Riley Unruh.
This begins the third trip through the order for the Heat. Tim Kennelly has reached base both times with a double his last time up. A walk in the first and a pair of runs scored. Called strike begins at bat number 2.
And Kennelly's he's going to have quality at bats. He's faced Blackley a lot in his playing career, and we talked about, you know, when you see a guy a number of times, you develop a book against individuals. So he's had 2 really good at bats against Blackley, and once again, you can see Blackley's frustration with that curveball. So for a veteran hitter like Kennelly, he'll bear down and he'll lock on in those 2 pitches that he knows he is throwing for strikes.
1-1 just misses. Kennelly got a pitch up, but could not connect. A swing and a miss brings the count to 2-2.
And like right there, it's a good location by Blackley, but you see how much more aggressive the hitter can be in those hitting counts, and now he's at least trying to work himself back into the at-bat.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Travis Blackley, and he finishes the 4th inning strong. But Alex Hall began the inning on the first pitch with a solo home run off the left field foul pole, and the Perth Heat are back on top by 2. It's 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
For our team, communication is key both on and off the field.
Stephanie, One Hub Group, how may I help you?
Yeah, I'm chasing a new phone. Okay. Okay, great.
One Hub gives us dedicated account management for all our technology. Having one point of contact makes a massive difference and lets us focus.
Wade Dutton leads off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits and takes a ball low and away. 5, 6, and 7 due up for Brisbane. Another take, this time a strike, and it's 1-1. Dutton, Shue, and Sutherland. After a 3-run 3rd inning, the Bandits are trying to put the bats back to work. 1-1, chopped foul up the 3rd base line. Dutton struck out swinging his first time up, and he again faces a 2-strike count.
Big inning for Flores here. He had a rough inning in the 3rd where the Bandits put up a 3 spot. Right now he's got another run on the board with a solo shot. Now he's got to really try to find a way to put a 0 on the board.
Dutton pops it up behind home plate. Over for a look is Hall, and he has room on the warning track to make the catch. We said in the top half of the inning that Riley Unruh made a tough play look easy. That's a very tough play for a catcher. Going in blind, looking up into the sky, and gathering the spin of the ball to make sure you land in the right spot.
Yeah, really good job by the young catcher. Found a way to square up, and once again, you said it is a tough play, particularly for the catcher. With all the variables, he's got umpires and bats and helmets to contend with.
Shu Ji-hong swings the first pitch and rockets it foul down the left field line. Shu, coming from the CPBL, got the monkey off his back last week, hitting his first regular season home run in a Bandits uniform in Canberra. 0-1 off the inside corner, it's 1-1. And the batting average climbing up a bit for Shu. Slow start as he adjusts to pitching and life in the ABL. Batting average now at .235. Hit hard on the ground towards second. Gray gathers it in and throws to first. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 4th inning.
He just hasn't found everything, and he had some really good at-bats in Canberra, and you know, obviously sometimes you come here and you tend to put a lot more pressure on yourself and maybe actually put yourself under your own pressures, but he has settled into this ball club, and I can imagine once he gets on fire, he'll be an offensive threat for the rest of the year.
David Sutherland got the rally started in the 3rd with a leadoff double. With nobody on and 2 down, he will try and keep the 4th inning alive. Check swing on a breaking pitch, and after Sutherland attacked early in the count in his last at bat, a smart move from Flores to try a breaking ball to see if Sutherland would chase.
Yeah, and a big defensive shift here. Third baseman is actually playing, and you see why on that ball hooked down the first base line, but third base is playing at shortstop at the moment in double play depth, and then you've got your shortstop actually playing second, and your second baseman playing in short right field, so they are playing a power shift on Sutherland here in the fourth.
The 1-1. Fouled off a foot, and it's 1-2. On opening day, Sutherland was batting 6th. In many other ABL lineups, he may be batting 3rd or 4th, but he gets the start in the 7 spot today. If you can have a guy with the potential and track record of David Sutherland batting in the bottom 3rd of your order, you've got a pretty good team. The 1-2. Inside, and it hits him. Looked like it missed his front foot, but got him on the left leg area, and Sutherland will limp his way down to first base. He extended the inning, but not in the way that he wanted to.
Looked like a late action slider, and it actually caught him on the back shin. So hopefully he'll pull up okay. I know Sutherland's tough at the plate. Luckily it was an off-speed pitch, but depends on where it hit him. It should be okay.
Daniel Nielsen got the Bandits on the board with a 2-run homer his last time up. A lot of soft stuff from Flores here, second time through the order, and he gets in there with a called strike.
And it's a good way of mixing it up. He had, like I said, he had a rough inning in the 3rd, and so important now for him to try to put up a 0, particularly after a solo shot in the 4th.
0-1 popped up, back of third base and out of play. Cloudy but dry tonight in Brisbane. We hope we can say the same the next 2 days with rain in the forecast. 0-2 to Nielsen, misses as Flores tried to go upstairs. Night game scheduled for tomorrow, 6 o'clock local time first pitch, and then a doubleheader on Saturday with first pitches at 2:30 and 6. 7-inning ball game for game 1, 9 innings for game 2 if we can play as scheduled. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. The 2-out hit by pitch does no damage as Flores bounces back from the 3-run 3rd with a scoreless 4th inning. To the 5th we go. The Heat are on top, 5-3.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Back at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, where the current Cove Brisbane Bandits are trailing the Perth Heat by a score of 5-3 as we enter the top of the 5th inning. With Paul Gonzalez, Eric Bramer providing commentary tonight. And Paul, what do we have going on around the ABL?
Yeah, in Adelaide, Canberra versus Adelaide, and Canberra took an early lead in the 1st, and they're up 1-0 at the start of the 2nd inning.
Postponed due to rain in Geelong, as Geelong Korea was set to take on the other expansion team, the Auckland Tuatara. That's it for action in the league. We'll have more games to report on Friday. That's tomorrow. Bandits enter play today with a 10-5 record, winners of 7 of their last 9, a half game ahead of 2nd place Sydney for 1st place in the Northeast Division.
I'll change gears quickly before this at-bat, where we'll catch this at-bat and we'll talk about the winter meetings and your insight on that.
Tristan Gray takes inside ball 1. The winter meetings have come to a close in Las Vegas. Lisa Nori was there representing the Bandits as part of a women in baseball initiative. More on that, you can go to brisbanebandits.com.au and read that incredibly well-written piece. 2-0. Little self-promotion there. Gray 1 for 2, an RBI double his last time up. He takes a called strike on the 2-0.
I think it's what an experience. Obviously, not just for the Bandits, but for Lisa particularly. It's such a special environment, and to be in Las Vegas with those surroundings, I'm sure she'll have a lot to report when she returns.
2-1 chopped foul up the first base line. High performance coach Gary McCoy was also there, and happy to have him back with the club. Winter meetings are not just for major league teams to make blockbuster deals. Major league, minor leagues, foreign leagues, everyone is there. Great networking opportunity for people. And a nice reminder that baseball is less than 3 months away. Popped in the air, shallow left center field. Bennett comes out. He's called off by Nielsen. The left fielder makes the catch for the first out.
And once again, we talked about that and we got a chance to see it in action on that tough play by Riley Unroe. He hustled back there, and Soupy Campbell didn't call him off, so he makes the play. And in that position, TJ probably had enough room to make that play, but he's called off by his left fielder, and he peels away to allow the left fielder to make the catch for out number 1.
Pete Kozma probably had an advocate of his at the winter meetings, looking to find a stateside spot for the Major League veteran in 2019. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles tonight, and he takes low and in ball 1. The ABL is increasingly seen as a destination for players like Kozma. 1-0 chopped up the third base line, foul. Had it been fair, Shu would have had a play. ABL standard off-season time for American ball players. Last year it was Delman Young, the big name, trying to rejuvenate his career. I believe Delman is signed by the Melbourne Aces, but he was playing down in Venezuela last I checked.
Yeah, I think he was actually in a home run hitting contest as well.
1-1 fair down the third base line past Shu and into the corner. Nielsen picks it up quickly, and the throw back in is on a few hops, not in time. Pete Kozma is 3 for 3 with 2 singles and now a double with 1 out in the 5th inning.
Like I said, early on in the season, you look at a guy and then all of a sudden you see why now. You've got a number 1 pick with St. Louis, and he's had a big night here, just doing the little things with the bat and creating havoc for the Bandits tonight.
Don't want to discount Kozma's ability, but at this point in his career, he may find a spot as a platoon player, and to go 3 for 3 against a former Major League lefty here will help his case.
And that's what so great about the Australian Baseball League. It's about the exposure now. Obviously, with the teams broadcasting and obviously the ABL TV being able to promote these athletes, it gives an opportunity for exposure. If you're swinging the bat against quality pitching and doing the little things, there's always an opportunity to get picked up.
0-1 pitch to Chris Betts, misses low and away. You never know who's watching these games. So as the commentators, we say thank you for watching wherever you are.
Well, the story on Blackley, had pitched for Melbourne a few years back in the early days and pitched in the grand finals, and the San Francisco Giants organization got a chance to have a look at him, and he ended up signing as a free agent and ended up in the big leagues that year. So, you know, that shows how many eyes are on these games.
1-1 to Betts, gets a big swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
And the other big opportunity is, you know, we look at the Australian talent on the other side, the selection process. Obviously, for the bid for the 2020, you've got the WBC and all those qualification tournaments that are coming up. It's imperative for all the coaches to have a look at these athletes competing against international talent.
1-2 breaking pitch, almost caught the corner from the back door. Instead, it's a ball, and it's 2-2.
And once again, that's a good pitch right there. Probably missed slightly up, but you know that's where gives that variation and forces these hitters to sit on, not to have to look and concentrate on that third pitch, and allows him to set up that cutter away.
Betts swings through the 2-strike offering. Travis Blackley picks up another strikeout, another Sky Fleetino strikeout, his 4th of the ball game, and it's out number 2 here in the 5th.
See the pitch right here, good location. It's down in the zone, but if he gets you as a hitter in between, looks like David potentially is either going to have a chat with him. I don't see anybody actually heating up in the bullpen.
Sam Holland was throwing. Holland has been in the rotation and may still be in the rotation, but with an early start to the series this week and a late end to last week's round in Canberra, Holland may get in an inning or two of bullpen work. No move. Next pitch for Blackley, if he throws it, will be his 90th.
And that's where it's great to have the veteran mind of David there right now, because he can gauge Blackley just in his tone, in his body language, and then just getting him familiar with the situation here. So he's probably saying, be aware of your situation. You've got 2 outs and you've got a man on an open base. Decide who you want to challenge in this situation, or I've got to make a change if required. So obviously you feel confident Blackley gave him the feedback he needed.
Robbie Glendinning hit a 2-run double off the wall in center field his first time up. Hit a hard smash to short that turned into a fielder's choice in the 3rd. And Blackley, keeping an eye on Cosma at second, spins off the rubber. Blackley readies the first pitch to Robbie Glendinning. Low and in, ball 1.
You look at it, Glendinning hits at 313, and you've got Carl Chester behind him hitting at the 2 clip, and so you've got to really look at how he wants to approach this batter and be very, very smart with an open base.
The 1-0. Knee-high strike, and it's 1-1. 5 runs on 7 hits for the Heat, 3 runs on 4 hits, all of which came in the 3rd inning for the Bandits. Blackley trying to gut his way through 5 innings on a night when he has not had his sharpest stuff.
No, he hasn't, but once again, in very Blackley style, he continues to compete for his ball club and keep him in the ball game. It's still the 5th inning, and Bandits are only down by 2.
The 1-1. Glendinning chased up above the letters, a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
I like that right there. He nodded his head and saying, you know, particularly what David mentioned to him, so he might have said this might be your last hitter, so Blackley's going to go 110% knowing this may be his last batter to face tonight.
The 1-2. Bounced in the dirt and smothered again by Battaglia, who has been kept busy with the breaking pitches from Blackley.
He's done a really good job back there tonight, just blocking balls and keeping the ball in front of him, and has prevented a couple of runners tonight from advancing. So like you said earlier, it's nice when your pitcher has confidence that he can bounce something hard in the dirt, knowing his catcher can keep it in front.
Short backstop here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, as you saw just a few moments ago in our camera angle. Blackley's 2-2. Missing badly up and away, and the count runs full. Pitch count up to 94. Holland is warm in the bullpen. This may be Blackley's last batter. First base open, Carl Chester waiting on deck. The payoff pitch. He got him. Strike 3 swinging, and Blackley finishes the outing strong, putting up a 0 in the 5th and stranding Cosma at second base. It wasn't Blackley's best, but he gave it all he had, and he keeps the deficit at 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Brisbane.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. Get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
The Bandits got a solid start from Travis Blackley. After 2 runs in the first and 2 runs in the third, he gave his team a chance to win. And now the offense will try and pick him up, beginning with the 9th place batter, Ryan Battaglia. Battaglia singled and scored his first time up. He'll be followed by Andrew Campbell and Riley Unroe at the top of the order. Ball 1 misses inside from Ryan Flores. Flores bounced back from his disastrous 3-run third inning by putting up a 0 in a hitless 4th. 1-0. Early is Battaglia, and he hits it hard but foul down the third base line. Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits will likely go to Sam Holland or Justin Erasmus in the bullpen for the 6th inning. It's Erasmus warming now. Holland perhaps was only there. Driven in the air deep towards left center field. On it is Chester. He turns around. It's gone! Ryan Battaglia with a home run to center field. The Bandits again play home run derby, and they are within 1. It's 5-4. Empire jerky home run. Battaglia got a pitch up, and he did not miss it.
And once again, like you said, it's a ball, and it's a mistake to Battaglia up in the strike zone, and he did not miss it. And one thing I've seen this year, he's in his starts, he's had really good at-bats, and the success I see from this year to previous years, he's using the whole field, he's using the middle of the diamond. He's so physically strong, and that's what he can do when you make a mistake up in the zone.
Quiet night so far for Andrew Campbell, 0 for 2 with a grounder to first and a strikeout. Waves and misses early at an off-speed pitch. It's 0-1. This one driven in the air, foul down the left field line. The 0-2 pitch. High and tight, almost on the knuckles of Campbell. And it goes to the backstop, 1-2.
I'm just looking in the bullpen now, so they've got Justin Erasmus, and it looks like Cameron McVale are potentially rolling it over. So it looks like just a change of game plan by David Nielsen on who he may roll out there.
Check swing, and Campbell held up there.
Sorry. Yeah, to start the 6th inning. So that's what David does so well, just looking at situations and potential matchups and just mixing that up now that the Bandits are down by 1.
2-2 off the very end of the bat. Rolled with some side spin to third. Fielding and throwing is Glendinning, and he retires the speedy Campbell for the first out.
It's a really good play by the third baseman, and just caught off the top of Campbell's bat, and he plays with a cup bat, and so what that does creates a lot of spin, and they'll throw that ball out. So that ball will have a cut in it, but good job by Glendinning to stay with a tough ground ball, make a good throw to first base for out number 1.
Riley Unroe 0 for 2, strikeout and a pop up to short. Called strike begins the at-bat to the switch hitting second baseman. Both McVeigh and Erasmus are coming off great series in round 4 against the Cavalry. Erasmus picked up a save, his first of the year. Low and in, and again to the backstop.
It looks like in his second time he's overthrown, whether that little breaking ball just missed his back leg, so Unroe was able to avoid it. He got Sutherland in the back leg, but shows how much late action he has on that slider, particularly to the left-handed batter.
Flores steps off to reset the signs and take a deep breath. He's back on. And here's the 1-1. Unruh takes wide.
I am watching the bomb, and obviously there is some light showers out west, so hopefully that'll stay away. We are in the 5th inning, and hopefully we can avoid any light showers in this ball game.
3-1 now the count to Unruh with TJ Bennett on deck. Unruh's last full season with the Bandits came a couple years ago when he led the team in both triples and stolen bases. He is not someone that you want to put at first base without earning it. Flores, for his part, has had outstanding control tonight. No walks, 1 hit by pitch. 3-1, there's a strike, and Unruh fouls it back. Flores peers into his cap for reflection. And readies the payoff pitch. Called strike 3, and Unruh knew it. Expecting something else, he gets a thigh-high pitch down the middle, and he is a strikeout victim for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, really good pitch right here. Late action. We talk about it almost like a backdoor slider, and he'd shown him a couple hard sliders down and in that he didn't chase, and able to use that backdoor slider for big out number 2. So once again, another mound visit. It'd be interesting to see if it's a pitching change or it's been very, very efficient tonight, but
1 out away from potentially picking up a win, trying to talk his way into the ball game, and no move. It is Andy Kyle, the manager, out instead of the pitching coach Alberto Bastardo. But we saw this in the top of the 5th inning when David Nielsen came out, the manager, to talk things over and make sure that his starter had enough gas left in the tank.
Yeah, same thing, gas in the tank, and also have an understanding now you're facing 2 big left-handed hitters, so he needs to be smart with his pitch location. He's still leading this ball game, and like every good manager, you want to see your starter at least complete his 5, so he has an opportunity to potentially get the win if they can hold that lead.
TJ Bennett is 1 for 2. His last time up, he hit a 2-out RBI double out of the glove of the right fielder Kennelly. That drew the Bandits to within 1 at the time, making the score 4-3. Ball 1 misses outside. The pitch count for Flores only at 72, but we mentioned that he has been in and out of the rotation, not fully stretched out, according to manager Andy Kyle. Close, but not quite there, and the same can be said of Bennett's swing. He was out in front and he sent it back.
And it's a smart move. I mean, like you said, a lot of these guys haven't really been stretched out. They're building their pitch counts, and one thing you don't want to do is you're almost to the halfway point. He's particularly chasing that playoff spot in the back of the end of the season is to blow an arm out early.
Bennett swings and misses. The count is 1-2. Not sure if Flores has something written on the inside of his cap or if that's just his routine, but he's made a habit of it this evening. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Brian Flores ends the 5th inning with a flourish, a pair of strikeouts, and he is in line for the victory if his bullpen can hold the lead. The lead for the Heat is 5-4 as we go to the top of the 6th inning on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there, and you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Travis Blackley's day is done. He went 5 innings, allowing 5 runs. And he, in an Alderley higher pitching change, is replaced by Justin Erasmus. Erasmus on the year 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA. This will be appearance number 7, all of them in relief. Last weekend, he picked up a save to close out a late victory over the Cavalry. First pitch swinging is Carl Chester, deflected off the glove of Erasmus. It'll be an infield single, and luckily Erasmus no worse for the wear.
Yeah, he's actually pitched brilliant. I got a chance to watch him pitch in Canberra, and we saw him pitch in that big series against Sydney, and been very, very effective in his role. Good move by David. Obviously, he's working out who he wants to work in the rotation. This game's still very, very tight at 5-4. And speaking of tight, in the bottom of the 3rd inning between Canberra and Adelaide, Canberra still lead that ball game 1-0.
Alex Hall homered off the left field foul pole as a right-handed batter his last time up. Now batting lefty, the switch hitter sends it on the ground towards first, on to second and back to first. A 3-6-1 double play with an exclamation point as Sutherland leaps up, grabs the hopper, fires it on to second, and they get the return throw to first as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay. Sutherland needed every centimeter of his 198-centimeter frame to make that catch.
Yeah, that's a really good play, and once again, the little things that Sutherland does so well on a baseball field, that's definitely not an easy play. Being 6'7", able to make that play and make a good throw to second base for the lead runner, but great execution and Erasmus to cover for out number 2, and a big double play.
Sam Kennelly bluffs a bunt and takes a strike. Complete line for Blackley, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts on 95 pitches. 60 of them were for strikes. Erasmus delivers a breaking pitch that misses low, 1-1. Erasmus, 28 years old, out of Johannesburg, South Africa. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2. Pitched in 3 different games against the Cavalry. Allowed 2 runs in a 1/3 of an inning on Sunday. That was part of the bullpen near meltdown. But before that, 3 1/3 innings and 6 strikeouts of hitless ball. 1-2, a swing and a miss, strike 3. There's another punch out for Justin Erasmus, and another Skyfleet Hino strikeout to end the 6th inning. It began with a line drive right back up the middle, but after a double play and the K, Erasmus puts up a 0. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Perth on top, 5-4.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Both starters in tonight's ball game went 5 innings complete. Ryan Flores departs in line for the victory, and the Bandits will try and rally off of what has been, to this point in the season, a very good Heat bullpen. Christopher Sanchez, the lefty, is the first man out of the pen for Andy Kyle's Heat. 22-year-old from La Romana in the Dominican Republic is 1-0 with a 2.16 ERA in 4 relief appearances this year. Alderley higher pitching change, and you can see the numbers. 8 1/3 innings over those 4 games, which means he is not a short stint guy. He is not a loogie, a left-handed one-out guy. He will be called upon likely to get a bunch of outs against lefties and righties. This is a lefty-heavy Bandits lineup. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Brisbane. The lefty Lutz, the righty Dutton. Shuji Hung, a lefty, batting third, and then David Sutherland and Daniel Nielsen if it gets to that. There's never a bad time to bring a lefty into the ballgame against the Bandits, but this is a good move for Andy Kyle if you're playing the matchups.
Yeah, I like the matchups, and you know, obviously, great job by Flores tonight. He pitched very, very competitively. He got in trouble really in the third, but the rest of the game he was in command, and an outstanding job for him to get through 5, and now he'll let this very, very potent bullpen take over and hopefully carry them into a win. So Bandits will have their work cut out against a very, very tough left-handed pitcher for the Perth Heat.
The concern for Flores going in was the walks. He had an opponent's batting average of 163, but more walks than strikeouts, and tonight he looked like a completely different pitcher. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts on 75 pitches. Donald Lutz is 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1 in his 3rd plate appearance. Robbed of extra bases, a fly out to right in the 2nd. Running catch made by Tim Kennelly in the corner. And then a grounder to 2nd into the shift his last time up. 0-1, just misses the inside corner.
Just looking at the lefty, really smooth arm action and a live arm, and the ball jumps out of his hand. So Bandits will have to really bear down, particularly left-handed hitters in this lineup.
Sanchez delivers a check swing, and Lutz did not go around. 2-1. Sanchez in the Tampa Bay Rays organization ended the season getting his first taste of short season A-ball in the New York Penn League for the Hudson Valley Renegades. Fouled straight back, and the count is 2-2.
Once again, look at good location, particularly on lefties. You know, lefties will always try to take a left center type approach against the lefty and avoid chasing that slider away or that breaking ball away. So Lutz has got to really bear down in this at bat.
The lefty from the wind delivers. Lutz fouls it at the plate. And that's another thing that you don't typically see from relief pitchers in today's ball game. With nobody out, Sanchez is pitching from the wind.
Yeah, and depends on, like, obviously you start looking guys that are specializing coming out of the pen and does pitch from that position, but it's all where guys are more effective throwing strikes.
He has been a starter in the American minor leagues the last few years as he delivers a slow breaking pitch that Lutz just takes to run the count full. It is the 13th of December here in Australia. It just became the 13th in America. Lutz keeps the at-bat alive, and Sanchez celebrates his birthday on December 12th, so a happy, nearly belated birthday to Christopher Sanchez. What is it, a 17-hour difference from here to Tampa Bay? I think the Dominican Republic is another hour back. Another 3-2 coming to Lutz. And a check swing, ball 4. Donald Lutz with a professional veteran at bat. Draws a leadoff walk against the bullpen arm of the Heat.
I agree. That was a big league at bat right there, where he worked the count. He fouled off some really tough pitches in on the hands and was able to lay off that tough pitch down and away in that 3-2 count to draw a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning.
Wade Dutton steps in. He's 0 for 2. Lutz represents the tying run at first base. Doesn't have great speed, but he's a smart base runner. Sanchez delivers just low, ball 1.
One thing you'll see from the lefty will be in his ability to throw strikes, and that's why young arms, especially with his talent, would be here, is just to hone in on his control. Definitely got plenty of velocity, but now it's about the control factor.
The 1-0 pitch. Dutton chops it up the chalk line, foul. 1-1. 5 runs on 8 hits for the Heat, 4 runs on 5 hits for the Bandits. The Heat have led from the word go, scoring 2 runs in the first inning, extending the advantage to 4-0 in the third. Bandits answered back with 3 in the bottom half of the third, but the Heat extended it to 5-3 in the fourth, before the Bandits got a solo home run from Ryan Battaglia in the bottom of the fifth. Outlaws cam down the third base line, showing the fans enjoying this ball game. Dutton takes low, it's 2-1.
Once again, we talked about Blackley tonight and not having the ability to get that third pitch over for a strike in the breaking ball. Looks like he's just struggling a little bit to find that command of his second and third pitches, so it really forces him into a fastball situation.
2-1 from Sanchez. Cracked on the ground, deep in the hole left side. Great play by Cosma to second, getting the out. The double play is not turned, but Cosma could have done a lot worse than what he did there. Excellent pickup and an on-target throw to second to get the lead runner.
Yeah, this is a really tough play. He goes hard to his right, and just to be able to find his balance and absolutely perfect throw to second base, that's an exceptional play, and hence why that man played in the big league. So it's a big league play on that force out, but it keeps that that tying run off out of scoring position.
Dutton reaches on a 6-4 fielder's choice. Bandits do get a bit more speed on the base paths now as Shu Ji-hung stands in. Hung with a home run cut comes up empty, 0-1. Pair of grounders to second for the left-handed hitting Bandits third baseman.
No, he swung the bat extremely well. I mentioned that in that Canberra series, and he missed one by millimeters, but he did square up his first one of the year, so it's a big time and big at-bat for this man, potentially.
0-1, chopped foul into his own dugout, and it's 0-2. Yeah, he hit his first home run, but then was robbed in deep right center field in Sunday's finale by Michael Francoso. If that game had been televised, you would have seen that clip making the rounds. I was there to see it. It was quite an impressive play.
Well, I did hear the call, so that's why the only reason why I had context of the play. So
the 0-2 inside almost hits Shu, jackknifing out of the way to prevent the bruise.
And that's where young pitchers can be wildly effective, and when they transition out of A-ball to AA, you'll see a lot of that in A-ball where guys miss the zone and all of a sudden then they paint you on the other half. So it's actually, I think it's tougher to hit an A-ball than it is as you move up the ladder.
And before the pitch, a throw to first. Sanchez clearly unhappy with himself for missing his target. He slammed the rosin bag down, but you're absolutely right. If you can back that up with, say, a breaking pitch low and away or something off speed, you can turn that missed pitch into a positive and maybe get a strikeout.
That's it.
We'll see what he does here on 1-2. He tried, but missed as Shu laid off 2-2.
And that's where they don't take advantage of the mistake. And this is where you see the youth, and you picked it up. He throws down the Rosenbach because he didn't execute his pitch, but then he overthrows probably his slider right there, and now gets Shu back into the at-bat.
Shu early on the breaking ball, swings and misses strike 3. After the leadoff walk, a fielder's choice and a strikeout, Christopher Sanchez has bounced back nicely.
And a lot better pitch right there. That he stayed within himself, and if you look at good location down and away, hard to do anything with that, and he missed hard and in and then hard away, and then just took a little bit off right there and able to get him swinging for out number 2.
David Sutherland doubled and scored in the third, was hit by a pitch on his back leg, most recent time up. He takes low and away, ball 1. Another lefty, one of 6 in the Bandits order, and that's not including the switch hitter, Riley Unruh. Wade Dutton and Ryan Battaglia, the only true right-handed batters in the starting 9 for David Nielsen's Bandits. 1-0 inside. Sutherland almost hit by another pitch. It's 2-0. Inexperienced pitcher on the mound, veteran at the plate, a 2-0 count with speed at first. We will see what Sutherland tries to do with what should be a pretty good pitch. The offering, driven in the air, deep towards right field. Kennelly has room and the ballpark will hold it. Shy of the warning track, he makes the catch. Wind could not push it out. And Sutherland just got underneath the pitch that he was trying to clobber. Bandits come up empty in the 6th inning, and we go to the 7th with Perth still leading 5-4.
Great job, Chef.
Thanks.
Who wants a drink?
Let's go, Archer. Beers away.
Thank you, Archer.
Looks like these guys are working up a tropical thirst, Archer.
Thank you, Archer!
Beers to the beach.
Thank you, Archer!
They look thirsty down there in the outback, Archer.
We'll all be.
Thank you,
Archer! Yeah!
Good boy, Archer.
Justin Erasmus got the job done in his inning of relief, and now it is Cameron McVeigh taking over for the Bandits in another Alderley Higher pitching change. Erasmus allowed a leadoff single in the 6th inning, but then a nicely turned 3-6-1 double play behind him quickly erased the base runner, and he put up a 0 in relief of Travis Blackley, excuse me.
Just quickly, flipped over to the Canberra-Adelaide game, and in the top of the 5th inning, Canberra still lead that ball game 1-0. So very, very tough match. And on the mound is Solpok. Solpok for Adelaide again. Once again, he's having another quality outing.
Cameron McVeigh 1-0 on the year with a 4.76 ERA. This will be appearance number 8, all of them in relief. 9th place batter Jess Williams leads it off. Pair of balls, and he is in a favorable hitting count, 2-0.
Well, you and I had a chance to speak about the university attended. It was Biola, which was in California, and oddly enough, I got a telephone call from one of the 2 pitchers that pitched out of Biola that pitched in the big leagues. There's only 2 guys out of Biola College actually pitching the big leagues, and that's Tim and Todd Worrell. And Timmy Worrell actually called me yesterday, and we had an hour-and-a-half conversation. We hadn't connected in over 10 years. It was really great to chat with Timmy.
His antenna must have gone up when we mentioned his name a couple weeks ago.
Well, he's actually very good friends of Jim Bennett as well. Jim Bennett and I played together in the South Atlantic League, and Timmy was part of that ball club when we were there. And
swing and a miss, strike 3. Foul tip into the mid of Battaglia. McVeigh comes back from down 2-0 to strike out Williams to begin the 7th inning.
And
another
look at
Skyfleet Hino strikeout.
Yeah, really good pitch. Look at, that's what the difference is, Cameron, right there. A lot of downward action on that fastball, and there's not a lot you can do with potentially fouling that off or beating that into the ground. So good quality pitch by McVeigh.
Here's Tim Kennelly. 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a pair of runs scored. Check swing, and the pitch was a strike anyway, 0-1.
It was so funny. Timmy and I actually got into mechanics of pitching and strategies, and he said, he actually started coaching for a number of years after he finished playing. He had a 13-year big league career, but he said it's big emphasis to these athletes, particularly like your McVeighs and is first strike. He said it's a very simple model. You get the first pitch over first strike, and it changes the whole complexity of the at bat. And he says that's the biggest fear people have of they get too fine early in the count. They find themselves 2-0 and 2-1.
McVeigh's 0-2. Called strike 3, knee high on the edge. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the outing. And Kennelly is not happy with the call.
Good location down in the zone, and Kennelly just letting him know it's a pitch he's not happy with. But if you look at the action, he gets the plate. Kennelly would have seen that ball as being down in the zone. Tommy West read it is in the zone, and that's out number 2 for the Bandits.
Suki Bowl replay giving us another look. And now Tristan Gray, 1 for 3 with an RBI double. He tries to check his swing, but cannot. It's a strike 0-1. McVeigh, in 2 outings in Canberra, pitched an inning and a third scoreless, striking out 3 batters. So he has been on a strikeout kick as of late. Called strike, and he will have another chance ahead 0-2 to do what he wants with Gray.
We're starting to see a different look with Cameron. You know, early in the piece, he was, I think, finding from himself mechanically, you know, a power arm with that really good split finger fastball. Now he's starting to find his location with his off speed, and then obviously once he gets ahead in the count, he can go to that splitty. So I think as he's progressed with his innings, he's also progressed with his sharpness as well.
The 1-2. Gray lifts it foul down the left field line, out of play. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Bandits in the bottom of the 7th inning. And what has been, for the majority, a very tightly contested ball game. The 1-2. Rocketed through the hole on the right side, a 2-out single for Tristan Gray. He's the first heat batter to put the ball in play against McVeigh, and the inning will continue for the hot-hitting Pete Cosmo.
Been really impressed with Gray. Obviously, coming from Rice University, it's primarily always been recognized as an academic university, but over the last really 10 years, they've turned that program around from a baseball perspective, produced a lot of big leaguers out of Rice University, and he's had some really good at-bats against the Bandits in game number 1.
Cosma 3 for 3, a pair of singles, and his last time up a double, ripped fair down the third base line. Swinging at the first pitch, and Pete Cosma has a 4-hit ball game, all of them well struck as this one finds the hole on the left side.
Yeah, see, looks like Frosch is heating up, and obviously he's reading the situation with the left-handed batter at the plate and man on first and second and 2 outs, so he's starting to heat up a little bit. Doesn't look like David's making a move at this stage, but the lefty is rolling it over in the pin.
How about Pete Cosma, 4 for 4, along with some stellar play in the field. Gray at second, Cosma at first, Chris Betts at the plate. And here comes Dave Nielsen. He just wanted a little extra time to get Frosch a few more tosses in the bullpen. And he'll try and draw this process out as long as he can to keep Frosch warming up.
And he'll take his time. It'll be interesting to see. He might wait as long as he can to see if Tommy West will pull him off the bump and then decide to make a change if he does make a change. So it's a good tactic by David. So now you see Tommy West, the home plate umpire. He'll approach reading the situation, and obviously David, being a veteran baseball mind, will play it out as long as he can, see if he decides to make the move once Tommy gets there. So
Frosch has stopped throwing. He's no longer on the rubber. He has taken a sip of water from the bottle, and here comes the move. Sure enough, Ken Frosch just needed a little extra time to get frantically warmed up, and it will be the lefty coming on to face Chris Betts with a pair of men on in the 7th inning. We're going to take a break, and we will be back after this on Bandits.tv.
careful. Out there, champ.
How good is this?
Ken Frosch has been great. This will be appearance number 10 for the lefty, and he has not yet allowed an earned run. It's an elderly higher pitching change after McVeigh departs, with a pair of strikeouts and a pair of singles on his ledger. Tristan Gray is at second, Pete Kozma is at first, and Chris Betts, the left-handed hitting DH, about to stand in. Frosch 1-0 on the year, 6 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, an opponent's batting average of only 200. He has come in situations like this to get left-handed batters out, and with his arm angle, he is a very, very difficult guy to read from the left-hand side of the plate.
Yeah, as a left-handed batsman, he'd be nasty. These are the guys you don't want seeing coming out in these situations. You know you've got to really bear down and have a very good game plan, but even with the game plan, that arm angle is tough to pick him up and tend to pick up the ball late.
Before the first pitch, a step off and a check of Gray at second. Perth would love to get an extra insurance run or two to give them and their bullpen some breathing room heading into the late innings. Frosch comes set. First pitch misses low and away, ball 1. Ken pitched this past American season with the St. Paul Saints in the American Association. The 1-0, and again missing wide. There's another right-handed arm warming in the Bandits' pen. Robbie Glendinning and Carl Chester, both right-handed batters, waiting in the wings. So Frosch may be a one-batter pitcher. He hopes to get Betts and end the inning, but now he's behind in the count 3-0.
That's exactly why, you know, David really prolonged that mound visit, was so he didn't rush. You mentioned earlier in the piece he's been outstanding out of this role in this situation, so now he falls behind 3-0 to the batter.
Sam Holland looks like he's warmed up. The 3-0, right down the middle, exactly what Frosch needed. Betts is 0 for 3. Scored a run and drove in a run with a pair of fielder's choices his first 2 times up. Frosch is 3-1. Breaking pitch gets a called strike and the count runs full.
And that's what makes him tough right there, and particularly right now just letting his infielders know play will be at first base. The runners will be in motion with the man on first and second and 2 out, so any ground ball hit play will be at first, but that's what makes him tough. In a 3-1 count, he has so much trust in it, breaking ball, so now as a hitter, you'd be guessing.
Runners take off. The 3-2 to Betts, he got him. Frosch gets his man and strands a pair in the top of the 7th inning to keep the game 5-4. Skyfleet Hino strikeout sends us to the stretch here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. Perth on top by a run. You're watching Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. And your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love and desire?
absolutely nobody's surprise, we have a tight ball game tonight here in Brisbane between the Bandits and the Perth Heat. A pair of first-place teams facing off for the only time this year. The Heat lead at 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. With Paul Gonzalez, I'm Eric Bramer. Thank you for joining us. One of a couple games going on across the ABL tonight. The Bandits will send 8, 9, and 1 up against Christopher Sanchez, beginning his 2nd inning of relief work. Daniel Nielsen, Ryan Battaglia, and Andrew Campbell, lefty, righty, lefty, against the tall Dominican southpaw.
Like you mentioned, it's been a close game early on. Looked like it was going to be an explosive offensive game where we were probably going to see double digits, but both pitching staff, bullpen, have done a fantastic job of coming out of the bullpen to contain both offenses. Now we're in the 7th inning, like you mentioned, and it is tied at 5-4.
And instead of Daniel Nielsen, who hit a 2-run homer, it is Mitch Ellis, the right-handed batter, coming in to get a spare at bat and a pinch hitting appearance. A check swing, it's 0-1.
A good move by David. You know, I mean, Daniel wouldn't see a lot of left-handed pitchers, particularly one like this with good electric stuff, and Mitch just over the swing and over the top of that pitch right there. So good move by David to give the young right-handed hitter a chance to get hit against this tough left-handed pitcher.
It can be a 1-to-1 move. Ellis can play the outfield, and Nielsen was the starting left fielder. 0-2, and the move does not pay off. Ellis goes down on 3 pitches, a swinging strikeout for out number 1. Second strikeout for Sanchez. He walked the first man he faced, but has since retired 4 straight. And here's Ryan Battaglia, who is 2 for 2 with a single and a solo home run. Bandits with a pair of home runs, and they come from the 8th and 9th place batters in the lineup. Battaglia takes outside, ball 1.
And here's a guy we talk about that can, with one swing in the bat, tie this ball game. And last at bat came up with a big home run to center field. So see if he can stick with that game plan.
Missing inside, 2-0. Someone we have not seen is Logan Wade. Star shortstop who has missed the first half of the season, on the active roster for the first time tonight. 2-0, and Battaglia chased a pitch that would have been ball 3. That's not what you want to do in that count. You can forgive him for getting fooled by Sanchez, who appears to have nasty stuff from the left side. Same pitch, same result, a swinging strike, and it's 2-2. Logan Wade will be worked in slowly but surely. That's according to his manager, David Nielsen. He feels good, but needs some time to get up to game speed. 2-2, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts start the bottom of the 7th inning for Christopher Sanchez, and he is dispatched with the bottom 2 batters in the lineup quite quickly.
Yeah, you just look at him again with his arm action, really good, clean mechanics, and like I said, really explosive through the zone. And that's the thing, his efficiencies doesn't look like his workload is hard, but late life on the fastball.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Andrew Campbell steps in and takes low ball 1. Campbell 0 for 3 with a pair of grounders and a strikeout. Time called down the left field line. Looks like the Heat had a ball run free from their bullpen. That means, and it's good news for the Bandits, that they've got someone warming down there. We can't see from our angle. Here's the 1-0. Campbell almost hit by a zooming fastball inside.
That's where we talk about young arms being wildly effective, particularly when you're a left-handed hitter and he misses you up and in on the rib cage. It does expand that outer half.
Good pitch on 2-0, a fastball on the outside corner that Campbell could not have done much with if he tried.
No, he can't, and that's all you can do right there, particularly after he comes up and in, and it looks like he's location same spot right there, and hits his spot again for strike 2. But that's where guys like this are tough, you know. Feel like, do they have command of their pitches, and then all of a sudden they paint you on 2 outer halves.
The 2-2. Bounced in the dirt, and the count runs full. No hits against Sanchez, but the Bandits did draw a walk in the 6th inning. Sure looks like he's throwing filth. So their best bet may be to try and get a man on and see what they can do with that. The payoff pitch coming to Campbell. Inside, though not as far in as Campbell thought. Almost a breaking pitch that caught the inside corner. It is a walk. The inning is extended, and the Bandits have Campbell and his speed representing the tying run at first base.
Good at bat right there by Campbell, and you're right. It was that pitch is just missed on the inner half, and that gives Riley and Unruh an opportunity to turn it around and hit from the right side.
Unruh was 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts as a left-handed batter against Flores. Good lead for Campbell. First pitch misses badly, up and away. With a lefty on the mound, you wouldn't think that Campbell would be sent in motion here. And here comes the pitching coach, Alberto Bastardo, to talk things over with Sanchez, who seems to have lost the strike zone.
And it's a good timeout right here. Just settled the young left-handed pitcher down. He's been very effective here in the seventh with 2 quick punch-outs and then the walk to Campbell. So now letting him remind him of the situation with the righty at the plate. He's got a lefty on deck, but just settle him back into the strike zone and not trying to be too fine.
Just as we said when he entered and remarked that there was no bad time to put him in a game, there's no good time to get him out if he's a lefty, and you've got lefties dotting up and down the lineup. After Unruh, TJ Bennett and Donald Lutz, both left-handed batters, I should say. Almost an errant throw to first as Campbell scampers back and ducks out of the way of the high pickoff attempt. Unruh ready for the 1-0. Taken low, 2-0. Sam Holland was warming again. He is now done, though we take that to mean that he's ready to get the 8th inning.
It seems like a couple guys, Semi was rolling over a little bit, and Timsy's now up. And this is normally when he comes in as well, so.
Big rip on 2-0, and Unruh comes up empty. 2-1 the count.
Once again, we can see why the Perth Heat have been so successful this year, and you look at the arms that are coming out of the bullpen, and offensively they're very strong 1 through 9.
The 2-1 pitch. Taken high. Unruh runs the count to 3-1 with TJ Bennett waiting on deck. Bennett has already come up clutch with 2 down once in this ball game. RBI double back in the 3rd. He would love another opportunity. Sanchez delivers the 3-1. Unruh swings and is early, sending it up the line foul.
This is where we see, once again, catcher coming out and just reminding his infield, ball hit on the ground, the play will be at first base with the runner moving. So the main thing for Soupy Campbell is to make sure he commits home before he does break. So don't want to get caught out too early and then run yourself into an out. So Campbell will have to make sure he commits to home, but the runner will be moving on 3-2.
The payoff pitch to Unruh. Hit fair down the third base line into the corner. Rounding second, going to third is Campbell. He will be held up late, and now he's caught in between third and home. Campbell in the pickle. And now he tries to make it back and is tagged out by Kozma to end the inning. He got the stop sign, but wanted to score with 2 down on the extra base hit into the corner. Bandits run out of a rally, and they do not score in the 7th inning. Unruh gets the hit, but they cannot complete the objective. We go to the 8th. Perth on top, 5-4.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Riley Unroe thought he came through with a double down the left field line, but Andrew Campbell initially waved home, then stopped by third base coach Shane Watson, gets into a pickle and is tagged out to end the inning. It's an Alderley Hire pitching change as we move to the top of the 8th inning. It is the starter, Sam Holland, getting some work in relief, trying to keep this a 1-run deficit.
And once again, great job by the left fielder to get the ball off, and he did exactly what you do in that situation. He hit his cutoff man and left Campbell out, hung to dry once he committed home, and once they read there was a good throw and unable to stay out of the rundown. So a big out with 2 outs to end the inning for the Perth Heat, and now the Bandits have to find a way to put a 0 on the board here in the 8th. Try to get themselves back in this 5-4 ball game.
Holland has pitched in relief before this season. This will be appearance number 6 and number 3 out of the bullpen. In 13 innings, the righty has no wins, no losses, and a 2.77 ERA. He will face 5, 6, and 7 in the Heat lineup, beginning with Robbie Glendinning. Cold strike on the outside corner to the third baseman. Ken Frosch got Cameron McVeigh off the hook and retired the only batter he faced, going a third of an inning and striking out Chris Betts. 0-1, hit hard and foul just beyond the Bandits' dugout. Lots of netting, lots of protection as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay. But some of the guys on the far side in patio chairs were trying to get an unobstructed view of the ball game and almost got an unobstructed line drive in the teeth. And there's another one heading in the same direction. Joel McInnes almost got that one in the shins. Yeah, those patio chairs aren't as populated as they were 30 seconds ago. Glendinning, a 2-run double in the first. He's 1 for 3 in total, and he takes a ball 1 and 2. The Heat have doubled up the Bandits in hits. 5 runs on 10 hits for Perth, 4 runs on 5 hits for Brisbane. Actually 6 hits after Unroe's double. Pitch just misses the zone, and the count is 2-2. Mitch Ellis is in left field after pinch hitting for Nielsen in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pitch misses low and in, 3-2. Carl Chester waiting on deck. Holland delivers. Chopped on the ground towards third. It went foul. Shu with a wave at it, but once he crossed the line, he knew the ball did not need to be caught.
Good point you made today. Got a chance to see Logan Wade taking some ground balls, and you mentioned David will slowly to acclimate him back into this lineup, and that's a positive news for the Bandits. And obviously the other one.
3-2 misses low, ball 4, and Glendinning with a great at bat coaxes a leadoff walk after falling behind in the count.
And that'll bring, like I said, once he's active and healthy again, it just brings another offensive, defensive weapon back into the lineup. So
now that you have Holland in the ball game, you want to give him as normal an outing as possible, but in case things go sideways, Matt Timms is beginning to warm in the Bandits' pen. Cold strike on the inside corner at the knees to Carl Chester. 1 for 3 with a single his last time up. His single almost ripped the glove off of Justin Erasmus, right back up the gut. Erasmus got a piece of it, but it went for an infield single after the deflection off of his glove. The 0-1 pitch. Chester chops it on the ground towards second. Unroe takes it to the base and fires low. Sutherland can't dig the throw, and it will be a fielder's choice. We take another look at the Suki Bowl replay. Unroe had time, it looked like, but had to gather himself, and making up for lost time, he fired it low into the dirt.
Yeah, just on that double play conversion, and really good job of ranging to his right, and made a good job of picking that ground ball up the middle, but just not able to convert on the throw, and man on first base and 1 out, so continues to put the pressure on the Bandits defense.
Here's Alex Hall swinging and missing. Hall, a solo home run in the 4th. Almost hit a high chopper over the head of the first baseman Sutherland his last time up. Instead, Sutherland flagged it and turned it into a 3-6-1 double play. Taking off for second is Chester. The throw is wide into center field. Chester up out of his dive, and now it gets by Campbell in center. And there should be 2 errors on that. Actually, just 1 error. It will likely go on Campbell. Stolen base for Chester, and he takes third as Campbell had the ball get by him. We'll see how that's scored, but that's what I would think. Chester with a heads-up play, keeping his eye on the ball. He had resolved to stay at second, even though the throw went awry. Now he's 90 feet away, and the Bandits infield will be forced to play in.
And it comes back, not able to convert on the double play, and then good heads-up base running, and now the Bandits have pressure with a man on third and 1 out.
1-1 to Hall, lifted foul out of play. Outfield at normal depth, but the infield will play in. Chester had good enough speed to take off for second on the stolen base attempt. You'd think he'd have good enough speed to try and break for the plate on contact, if that were the directive. Holland looking for a strikeout. And he got the strikeout. Called strike 3, a perfect pitch from Holland. Skyfleet Hino strikeout, and it's out number 2 here in the 8th.
It's like you said right here, you look at the location and just a good backdoor breaking ball, and that's a big out for Sammy Holland. So that'll allow the defense to go back to normal fielding position with 2 outs and the man on third. So Sammy Holland stepped up big for the Bandits.
10th strikeout for the Bandits pitching staff. First for Holland. And the first pitch misses low and away to Sam Kennelly. 0 for 3. He's gone down swinging twice.
And this is a guy they've got to be careful. Another veteran bat, another dangerous hitter at the plate. So continue to make quality pitches.
Infield back at normal depth. 1-0 fouled at the screen. And it's 1-1. Bandits will send the heart of their order up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bennett, Lutz, and Dutton. Again, we cannot see the Perth bullpen, but Sanchez, with 2 pretty good innings, may be done for the night. The 1-1. On the inside corner, a strike. And it's 1-2.
Really good pitch location, and right there, Sammy looked like he went to another gear and had a little bit more on that pitch, and now puts himself in the position he wants to be in 1-2 count here with 2 outs and a man on third.
Holland's 1-2. In on the hands, and just getting a piece is Kennelly to keep the at-bat going. Before we get too much further along, I want to correct my suggestion. I thought that the error would go on the center fielder Campbell, but they gave a throwing error to the catcher Ryan Battaglia. If the ball wasn't out in center field in the first place, Campbell wouldn't have missed it. I guess that's the rationale. Another 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another big strikeout for the Bandits to strand a Perth runner in scoring position. Chester left at third, and the Heat do not score in the top of the 8th inning. They still lead it by a score of 5-4. Bandits will try and change that when we come back.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Another pitching change for the Perth Heat as they look to put the finishing touches on this road win against the three-time defending champion Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits. 5-4 the score as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and another Alderley higher pitching change has Joe Peguero coming on in place of his countryman Christopher Sanchez, who went 2 scoreless innings and was bailed out by a Brisbane base-running blunder. Peguero, like Sanchez in the Tampa Bay Rays organization, he hasn't gotten quite as far. He was in the Appalachian League, that's rookie level this past season. 1-2 with a 7.44 ERA. In his minors career, a 6.28 ERA, but he is young, just 21 years old, and he gets a high leverage situation here, trying to tear through the heart of the Brisbane lineup. Sanchez, 2 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. TJ Bennett, Donald Lutz, and Wade Dutton do up, lefty, lefty, righty, against the right-handed thrower. TJ Bennett 1 for 3 with an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. He was ready for the first offering and sent it foul. Ryan Flores in line for the win for Perth. Righty went 5 innings, allowing 4 runs. 0-1 sent straight back near our crowd mic. 0-2 the count. Matt Timms warming in the Brisbane bullpen. Looks like he will get the 9th. The 0-2. Just off the outside corner, a good take from Bennett. Bennett has had a disagreement or two with the strike zone tonight, but judged that one correctly. Peguero shakes off his catcher Hall. The pitch, chopped up the middle. It's going to be a tough play for the second baseman, Gray. He handles the in-between hop, but can't get any juice on the throw. And Bennett reaches on an infield single to start the 8th inning.
Get a chance to see the replay. It's a high chopper, and very good job by Gray feeling that ball and able to get off an off-balance throw, making it very close. But good hustle by Bennett to beat it out. And once again, the Bandits threaten here in the 8th, down 5-4.
You can't really approach that ball any differently. You have to wait to let it get back down. By the time he fielded it, Bennett was already well down the line. Tying run at first with speed, and here's Donald Lutz, 0 for 2 with a walk his last time up. Up and away, ball 1.
Got a chance, and I've heard some reports on this young man here, and as a hard thrower, and his velocity is up. And I'll tell you what, he does throw the ball hard, so Bandits are going to have to really gear up against the hard throwing righty here in the 8th inning.
Lutz has been a bit strikeout prone in the early weeks this year. Takes a called strike, and it's 1-1. He has homered, however, in each of the last 2 rounds. Trying to come up big for the Bandits here. At the very least, he would like to advance Bennett into scoring position. Low and in, it gets off the catcher West, but reading the down angle well is Bennett. He advances to second into scoring position.
Now we talk about those little things in baseball, and this is one where you want Lutzy really to focus on driving the ball the right side or finding a gap. So if he can drive the ball the right side of the field, he can at least advance the runner and put him on third base with 1 out or less.
Tough to do against a Peguero fastball. The 2-1. Taken for a strike, 2-2. The Bandits have gone toe-to-toe with all of their challengers that they have faced so far this year. Their only series loss came against the Auckland Tuatara on the road. The 2-2 to Lutz. Off the outside corner, and had Hall been able to squeeze it, he may have framed it into a strike.
Yeah, I think he might have lost that strike because he didn't frame it up, and that's, you know, young catcher right there, just potentially taking away strike 3 away from the hitter. So now it gives Lutzy life in his AB, and see if that comes to be a critical point in this ball game.
First base is open. Wade Dutton waits on deck. The payoff pitch. Lutz chops it on the ground right side. That'll work. Fielded by Kennelly, and he throws it on to first where Peguero waits to make the out. But advancing from second to third is TJ Bennett, and that'll force the Heat infield to play in for the Wade Dutton at bat.
We talk about big times in the at bat. Right there, we say that 3-2 pitch or that 2-2 pitch was dropped by the catcher, and all of a sudden allowed to go to 3-2, and just a simple ground ball to first base now advances the runner, and now we've got the tying run at third with 1 out, and a very, very tough right-handed hitter at the plate.
Wade Dutton is 0 for 3, and he is batting .216 on the year, but he is a tough out. And he does a pretty good job by and large of putting the ball in play. If you put the ball in play, you give the Heat a chance to make a mistake defensively. First pitch to Dutton gets a swing and a miss. Bennett at third. He led off the inning with an infield single, took second on a wild pitch, and advanced to third on Lutz's ground out. Bandits trying to tie this ball game up for the first time since the top of the first inning. They have not led. Time called at home plate, requested by Dutton. After Dutton is another lefty, Shu Ji-hung. Abe Nielsen has plenty of development players to pinch run. 0-1, driven to left field. Into the corner is Williams. He makes the catch. Setting up to tag is Bennett. He comes to the plate and he scores! The Bandits tie it up. It's 5 apiece in the bottom of the 8th inning. Some small ball from Brisbane, and we are back to all square. Well hit by Dutton. Williams had to go just lateral enough where he couldn't get as much on the throw as he would have liked. And with Bennett's speed at third, he scores to tie the ball game.
Yeah, really good job at Wade Dutton. We talk about veteran hitter at the plate, right man, right spot, and able to drive the ball in the left field. And now we've got a tie ball game here in the 8th.
Shu Ji-hung trying to untie the ball game, swings and misses. Shu is 0 for 3. In tying up the ball game, that takes Travis Blackley off the hook and means Ryan Flores will not pick up the win. Matt Timms continues to warn. 0-1, misses just low. Bandits have not played a laugher of a ball game in quite some time. One, chopped on the ground, left side. Cosma fields and throws on target to retire the Bandits' third baseman and end the 8th inning. But the Bandits tie it up, turning a leadoff single into a manufactured run. And we go to the 9th with a 5-5 ball game between Perth and Brisbane.
It's always been you.
It's always been us.
Guess what? It's a tie ball game between Perth and Brisbane going to the top of the 9th inning after the Bandits evened it up in the bottom half of the 8th. Another Alderley higher pitching change for the Bandits brings Matt Timms, the veteran reliever, into the ball game, trying to keep it tied going to the bottom of the 9th. Timms on the year 1-2, but an outstanding 0.96 ERA. This will be his 11th outing all in relief. He's 1 for 1 in save opportunities, and in 9 1/3 innings, he has allowed only 7 hits and 1 run while striking out 13. Alderley higher pitching change comes on in relief of Sam Holland, who pitched a scoreless 8th inning, allowing a walk and striking out 2. Timms will be pitcher number 6 for David Nielsen's Bandits. Pitching coach Jim Bennett has done a good job planning this game around the different relievers he has in his arsenal. Luke Van Meel out of commission due to his injury sustained last week. That is one less arm in the bullpen. You see Ryan Bollinger warming in the pen. Between he and Reese Neat, that's just about it in terms of established guys who you can ask to contribute in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. It's the little things now. So right guy, right spot in this situation for the Bandits, tied 5-5. So his job right now is to try to put on a 0 and allow the Bandits to try to tack on a run.
9 1-2 due up for the Heat, beginning with Jess Williams. Pitch misses, low ball 1. Beg your pardon, this is a pinch hitter in the game for Williams. This is Adam Korcha. Korcha takes up high, 2-0. Korcha listed as a third baseman. Limited bench options for the visiting team here. So we'll see how that works out defensively. Korcha takes a strike, and it's 2-1. Korcha, 30 years old, in his 4th season in the ABL, all of them with Perth. And he takes up high, 3-1.
Big pitch for Timsy here. Definitely doesn't want to put a man on here in the 9th inning, particularly with the top of the order coming to the plate. So got to really focus on allowing him to put the ball in play.
Korcha batting .333, and he takes just on the inside corner, 3-2. Korcha tried to lean into that one, showing how close it was to his body. But home plate umpire Tom West didn't bite. The payoff pitch from Timms to Korcha. Got him. High Heat gets a strikeout to begin the 9th inning. Another Alderley, a Skyfleet Hino strikeout. And that has been a strength of the Bandits pitching staff tonight and all season. Lots of swings and misses. Every pitcher in the ball game, including Ken Frosch, who only got 1 out, has collected a strikeout in the ball game.
We talk about how big that at bat was for Timsy, and a brilliant job in a 3-1 count to come back for a big strikeout. So still plenty of work here with the top of the order at the plate.
Tim Kennelly takes outside ball 1. Kennelly 1 for 3 with a double, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 2 strikeouts. The 1-0 to the plate. Check swing. Misses outside, and no appeal. Home crowd here at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus, wanted the call.
Yeah, I think everybody wanted that call, and Tommy's been pretty solid behind the plate. So ball's a little up, so now he's got to be careful here to a very dangerous hitter.
Tim straight over the top, misses, and it's 3-0. Tristan Gray waits on deck. Jake Bowie, the only other option on the bench for Andy Kyle and the Heat. The 3-0. There's a letter high strike and a mock cheer from the crowd.
At least they're into it. And I tell you what, it's been an exciting ball game here tonight. You know, both offensive clubs have shown how tough they are, and we show how deep both bullpens are. So it's going to be evenly matched series when we called the game in the first inning, and shown to be tonight.
Kennelly got a pitch he could handle and sent it straight back. Another 3-2. Timms has had to work, but a strike here would get 2 outs on 2 batters without a ball in play. An out is an out, and Timms won't be too picky. Let's see what he gives Tim Kennelly on the payoff pitch. Missing outside, and Kennelly does what Korcha couldn't, getting on base with 1 down here in the 9th inning. Just the 3rd walk of the game for the Bandits pitching staff. Blackley walked 1, and Holland offered a free pass to begin the 8th. Go-ahead run is on base with good speed, and here's Tristan Gray. Gray 2 for 4, a single, a double, a run scored, and a run batted in. Timms does not forget about Kennelly and throws over to first before he begins his next at-bat.
And that's one thing, Timsy will have to keep him close. He's not quick home, so they tend to steal. Particularly last time he had a steal attempt through the ball into center field, so see if they decide to put pressure early on Timsy.
Pitch misses low. And Kennelly, using his fast twitch muscles, trying to time up Timms. That's half the battle too. Even if you're fast home, if you develop a routine, runners can go if they can figure you out. Timms again tries to throw Kennelly off of his rhythm, throwing off just as he steps on. It'll be the bottom third of the Bandits lineup due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bandits hope the game is still tied. Another throw over to first. Kennelly dives back. Ryan Bollinger was throwing, but the Bandits lefty is now sitting. This will be Timms' inning unless things get really screwy. Gray sends it high in the air, deep towards center field. Campbell looks up, and it is gone. A 2-run home run for Tristan Gray. And the Heat are right back on top. They lead it 7-5 in the top of the 9th inning. Only 370 feet to center field, and that is not a home run in too many ballparks. This game, played in this ballpark, it may be the game winner.
Yeah, you look at the pitch, you know, middle away but up in the strike zone, and mentioned earlier how impressive he's been. He had really good at-bats against Blackley, shooting the ball in left center field, and then he shot the ball to right, and right there, once again, he showed straightaway power to center. So a great night for that young man, and a big hit for the Perth Heat here in the 9th inning.
3rd hit, 2nd and 3rd runs batted in, and now here's Pete Kozma working on a 4-for-4 night. Kozma swings at the first pitch. He can't wait to get back on base. He fouls it off 0-1. It's a backbreaker for the Bandits that is not just a solo home run, because going down 2 means you need to get a runner on, and then you can start swinging for the fences. That's the type of ball game that the Bandits want to be playing.
Yeah, and that's it. And we know how tough the Perth Heat bullpen is as well, so they'll have to earn not just the 1, but now 2 runs to at least tie it. And so plenty of work for the Bandits in the 9th when they take the plate.
And for Timms, those are just earned runs, 2 and 3 on the year. Again, he entered with a sub-1 ERA. Bounced in the dirt, and it's 2-1. This is going to be an exciting series through Saturday. The 2-1. On the outside corner, a strike. It's 2-2. After Saturday, these two teams will not meet again in the regular season. If I was a betting man, I'd say they may meet again in the ABL playoffs. 2-2, lifted foul out of play. 5 of the 8 teams will play some form of playoff baseball, with the 4 and 5 seeds meeting in a one-game playoff. Then it will be 2 best-of-3 rounds, with the winner taking home the Claxton Shield. Bandits, 3-time defending champions, have made it through the gauntlet before, and they send a lot of returners to the field every single night. But it is lonely at the top as Cosma swings and misses. He goes down for the first time tonight. He will likely end his day going 4 for 5. Another Skyfleetino strikeout, second of the inning by Timms. Unfortunately, they are bookending a walk and a 2-run home run. Here is Chris Betts. Betts is 0 for 4, but he's driven in a run and scored a run with a pair of fielder's choices. Timms to the plate and a foul back. I say it's lonely at the top because when you are where the Bandits are in this league and in this country, everyone comes in ready to give their best against you. You cannot take any inning, any pitch off. Pitch misses low and away. And that is a burden. Not to suggest that these players would ever take their foot off the pedal, but when you are the Brisbane Bandits in 2018, you got to be on all the time. 2-1 misses wide.
One thing in the history of the Perth, you talk about in the early days of the start of the second league of the ABL, that they were in that same position. Every time you faced them, you knew you were facing the best team in the league, and that's one thing they've always had a tradition of history of competing, and when they compete to win Claxton Shields. And once again, the ball club they have on the field this year is a contender, and so I think it's going to be a very, very strong matchup come playoff time.
3-1, lifted foul out of play, and the count runs full. If the score holds, and with Melbourne and Sydney not playing tonight, the Bandits would fall into a tie for first place, and the Heat would move out of their tie into sole possession of first place in their division. Payoff pitch. Cracked off the glove of the second baseman, Unruh, and now it falls into no man's land, but Betts will be content with a line drive single. I did not think there was any way Unruh could have come up with that, but it must have had some topspin on it as we take another look. That was not even at the apex of Unruh's leap, and maybe that's why the ball popped out. It had some sink on it.
Yeah, it might have. A lot of times when the top hand releases on a lefty, create a lot of overspin, and it might have had a lot of overspin. The ball was hit very sharply and almost like a breaking ball, maybe just handcuffed him on the jump. So good attempt, but unable to come up with a play.
Here's Robbie Glendinning. He ducks out of the way of a breaking pitch that misses high and tight. Glendinning is 1 for 3 with a 2-run double and a walk. And now here comes Jim Bennett, the pitching coach, to talk it over with Matt Timms.
And good timeout by Benny right here, just settling the veteran right-handed arm down, and a lot of fastball this inning. When he's most effective, obviously throwing that splitty, so maybe just settling him in and getting him back focused. The reality is he can't afford another run, so 7-5, Bandits feel like they can at least make an attempt to tie the ball game, but you really don't want to concede any more innings if you can.
Sutherland, Ellis, and Battaglia, 7, 8, and 9 will be the first 3 due up for the Bandits in the bottom of the 9th inning. They hope to be able to turn it over to the top guys in the lineup, The big boppers who can end the ball game and make it a win. Here's the 1-0. Driven in the air to right field and deep. Dutton going back, feeling for the wall. It is gone, a home run. A 2-run home run, and the Heat have scored 4 in the 9th inning to make it 9-5. Robbie Glendinning with 4 RBIs on the night as we take a look at the Suki Bowl replay.
Yeah, really good. Look at the pitch up and middle away right there, and Glendinning able to drive the ball to right field fence and just outside the reach of Wade Dutton. And all of a sudden that'll end the night for Matty Timms, and David Nielsen will probably, looks like he's bringing in Reese Neat.
Reese Neat will come on to try and get the final out of the 9th inning. Perth have broken it open.
Careful, out there, champ.
How good is this?
Reese Neat is the 7th pitcher in the ballgame for the Curran Cove Brisbane Bandits, and he comes on in another Alderley Higher pitching change in a 9th inning that has gone sideways for the Bandits, to say the least. Matt Timms departs after 2/3 of an inning. Both of those outs came on strikeouts, but a pair of 2-run home runs, one from Tristan Gray and one just a few moments ago from Robbie Glendinning, has given the Heat a 4-run advantage. Not only does that give them some breathing room, it also means they don't necessarily have to send out their closer in tonight's ball game, which is big. Looking forward to 3 games in the next 2 days coming up.
And you're spot on with that, and that's a very good comment. They can now play with the back end of the bullpen without having to go to closer. You're talking about 3 more games in 2 days. That could play a major factor for the Perth Heat, knowing that they can save that closer arm for another game. So a big hit like Glendinning in that situation, but it does free up that closer for the night.
Carl Chester stands in. 1 for 4 with a single. He takes a cold strike from Reese Neat, the 27-year-old righty, who on the year has no wins, no losses, and a 6.75 ERA. This will be appearance number 4 after pitching in 2 of the ball games last weekend in Canberra. 0-1, misses low and away. Well, the ERA is going to jump for Matt Timms, and not the outing that he or the Bandits wanted from the veteran righty. 1-1, sent foul, off the screen, 1-2. And with Luke Van Meel out indefinitely, the Bandits will be looking for someone who can take over the closing duties. It'll be closer by committee for some time, but if someone emerges who you can count on every time in the 9th inning, that'll help David Nielsen quite a bit. Doesn't seem like Matt Timms had it tonight.
No, not tonight, and that's the thing. But David and the coaching staff to have to sit down and decide, do they have someone within the mix, or do they potentially have to source another arm? It is almost at that halfway point. Like I said, they're big decisions that potentially may have to be made.
Neat ready for the 2-2. Driven in the air to left center field and deep again. This time the ballpark will hold it, and Campbell, the center fielder, makes the catch for the 3rd out. The Heat score 4 in the top of the 9th inning, and they are 3 outs away from winning the opener against the defending champions in Brisbane. Back after this on Bandits.tv.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
No one knows what the future of transportation will look like. Robots. But no matter what, Enterprise can help. You can rent a car for a road trip. Look, kids, nature. Oh, wow. You can rent a truck for a move. You can buy a car, commute in a van pool, or get picked up because your car is in a pool. My bad. Count on Enterprise, no matter where transportation goes next.
Let's go.
I love the future. How can Enterprise pick you up today?
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah?
Is it fun playing at festivals?
It's pretty good, mate. You get to see amazing places, meet new people. Everyone's just pumped to be there. And you get to do the sign-off.
Queensland, where life's beautiful one day and perfect the next.
Joe Peguero blew a save, allowing the game-tying run in the 8th inning. But the hard-throwing righty is back out in the 9th with a 4-run lead and an opportunity to earn himself a win. 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning off of Matt Timms. And the Heat, who entered in a tie for first place, are trying to take sole possession of the Southwest Division. In doing so, they would put Brisbane back into a tie for first place in the Northeast Division. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Bandits, who need a rally in the worst way. David Sutherland, Mitch Ellis, and Ryan Battaglia. Called strike begins the at-bat to Sutherland, who is 1 for 2 with a double and a hit by pitch. Peguero's 0-1, misses low and away. Bandits started the 8th inning and, by extension, Peguero's outing with an infield single from T.J. Bennett. Bennett took second on a wild pitch, third on a productive groundout, and scored on a sac fly. Sutherland waves and misses, and the count is 1-2.
And once again, we talk about this young man's velocity, and it's up there tonight. They're saying he's a mid to high 90s type guy, so imagine he's another prospect within the organization. Wow.
Sutherland swings and misses, no chance to catch up to that heat. You look at the numbers, and the ERA isn't very good from the young righty in the States, but you see the stuff here, and if he can figure out how to harness it, he's going to be pretty dangerous.
Well, I think what we're saying is you probably see it a lot more than I am recently, you know, in AAA, but in AA and A-ball, there's so many strong young arms coming through the minor league systems, and they're even talking about changing the scale as far as the velo scale, where guys are now averaging from 94 up, you know, where that was the rare arms, and now it seems to be almost common in some organizations.
Mitch Ellis batting from the left side, bleeds one through the middle, a hard hit grounder into right center field for a single, and that is how the Bandits are going to have to get back in this ball game. First, they need base runners, and then they need the heart of their order, if they can come up, to come through.
Well, that's a good at-bat by that young hitter right there. He didn't try to do too much with the baseball and able to shoot the ball up the middle and put a little bit more pressure on the Perth Heat here in the 9th, down by 4.
Here's Ryan Battaglia. Nice night from the Bandits catcher and 9th place hitter. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a solo home run. First pitch down the middle, a strike. Ellis may be able to take second on defensive indifference and take away the threat of a double play. But trailing by 4, the Bandits won't do anything too risky. 0-1, a big swing and a miss, and Battaglia is behind 0-2. A reminder that tomorrow is Game 2 of this series at One Hub Stadium, powered by Optus. A 6 o'clock local time first pitch. Doubleheader on Saturday will end things with 2:30 and 6 o'clock, the scheduled start times. 0-2 misses low, and that is not defensive indifference because Hall threw down to second, trying to get an extra out when it was right in front of him. But Ellis takes it, and the gamble pays off. He steals second base. Good read, and no reason for Peguero to really care about the runners at this point. He's in the business of getting outs. The pitch was a ball. It's 1-2. And it's only 1-2 for a few short moments. Swing and a miss, strike three. Battaglia down on strikes for the second time tonight. Second strikeout of the inning for Peguero. And the last chance for the Bandits will be Andrew Campbell. Suki Bowl replay.
Yeah, once again, see that good location, but probably the thing that's most impressive with this young man right here is that late action down into the right-handed hitter, and that's the difference between being able to square him up and just out of the reach of the barrel. So good pitch, good location.
First pitch ball pops out of the mid of Hall.
And that's just where you'd see the young man a little frustrated with himself right there, but you know, he's a young catcher, and catching probably one of the hardest throwers he's seen in a long time. It's not often a young guy sees this type of velo, so sometimes that late action can be tough on a catcher.
One-0 to Campbell, a called strike. Andrew is 0 for 3 with a walk, his most recent time up. He stood at first with 2 down as Riley Unroe doubled into the left field corner in the 7th inning. Campbell rounded third, got the stop sign, but then got into a pickle and was tagged out to end the threat. Campbell sends a soft line drive foul down the third base line, and the Bandits are down to their final strike. Riley Unroe waits on deck. The Bandits would need to get to TJ Bennett to bring the tying run to the plate. Bennett in the hole. Campbell in a 1-2 hole. The pitch from Peguero, missing low, 2-2. Ellis at second after a single and a stolen base. The 2-2 pitch. Missing outside, 3-2. First base is open. Riley Unroe waits on deck, but if you are Peguero, you throw a strike here and see what happens. No need for a free pass with a 4-run lead. The payoff pitch. Hit in the air to shallow left. Coming on is Williams. He dives and makes a tremendous play to end the ball game. Williams went airborne to secure the 9-5 victory for the Perth Heat here in the round 5 opener in Brisbane. That's Adam Korcha, who entered as a defensive replacement for Williams. And Korcha makes an outstanding play to finish it off for the Heat, 9-5 the final. You can see the final totals there. 4 in the 9th for the Heat. 9 runs total on 13 hits. Bandits in defeat, scored 5 runs on 8 hits with 1 error. And the Bandits fall to 10-6 as the Heat improve to 12-5. The win will go to Joe Peguero. The loss will go to Matt Timms. And no save for the pitcher, but a save in the outfield as Adam Korcha makes a tremendous play to end the ball game. We will be back tomorrow, weather permitting, for Game 2 between the Heat and the Bandits. First pitch at 6 o'clock local time. For Paul Gonzalez and the Hailstorm crew, this is Eric Bramer signing off. One more time, your final score, the Perth Heat 9, the Brisbane Bandits 5. Thanks for watching this presentation of Bandits.tv.
Can't you see my heart is lost without you? And your kisses make me love you more. and your kisses make me love you more. Can't you hear the sound of love?